We not depend on no handout. We have money can rebuild. You
Yeah,
understand what I mean?
and that
What
is
me
one
them
of
a
the
cuss say? When them a cuss say no Chuck, them a cuss say at the MP them get the money and no and the council them not get no money because students have it for now, them a politicize it for say them have more actual physical councils than the JLP. So what them must say now through a 48/49 MP we have, and that's why then go that route they forgot give the MP them. You see how they small minded? They're so small minded. So
you
them
see,
must say the council them should get it.
the problem is that you always think people are do the same thing what you do. Yeah? You will always believe that somebody is doing what you would do. Right?
Projection
So,
as you always say.
projection, as I
Projection.
always say. Yes, projection. So them always a project what they would have done or what they have done in the past that somebody else is doing it. Now,
But
before this time, the Prime Minister said every single member of Parliament, not the Labour Party one, every single member of Parliament,
yeah,
every single member of Parliament will get $5 million. Now, me try to teach people all the while that when the Prime Minister said that, means them right one check each member of Parliament. Or him have one big jar when take out $5 million and hand it to each of them. No, and also government money work. Right? But there's things in place. So if the council have a project we want to undertake, then go to the member of Parliament. That's how government run. That's how politics run. Right? So for those of them who don't know or who don't want to teach the people the right way, remember, at some time in the future, they will be expected to lead. That's how we have to tell them. But listen to me, we have capable hands at the top, and we believe our recovery, especially in the St. Elizabeth, will be swift.
everybody
And
has a,
additional $5 million, Sheik, additional $5 million will be added to them CDF.
yeah.
Right, but it is going to be a fast recovery. As I said, the Prime Minister is on the ground. As somebody said earlier, we now said no blind man go assess damage.
Well,
Right?
them just prove more and more to it how fiscally irresponsible they are now. Then just prove as anytime them open their mouth. Because I guess them expect you just dish out money. So maybe
Because
some
the
places
number
are
one,
gonna get affected more than some. So make the hurricane come. Make we figure out, make we assess the damages, make we see how we're gonna rebuild this infrastructure here back, and we take it from there. But no, them want hurricane to come, and that are the young relief money him give it, him fi give it how much millions of dollars, and then after the hurricane what?
Give them
Eh?
millions
Your
of dollars to what? To
your
do what?
constituency might be fine, while Chuck constituency might mash up bad. So
Give them
Oh,
more money for the what, Petal? For the what?
they buy 150.
Yeah,
mm-hmm.
For
and I
the
must
what?
add this to guys. You
Because
see the sitting MPs and the lazy one them and then I don't know here you have an opportunity. We gotta do some work or work. Can't come up in rent, come up your time.
One Sheik.
yeah, I was saying give them more money to do what exactly? Because remember say as you establish already, Chuck, this is an addition to,
To
right?
them
And I
CDF.
like what
Yes.
people and I like what they said. Somebody said Big Rob purchased some supermarket vouchers. And I love that because that is the intended purpose of the $5 million to do care package and people who like maybe if you don't want to do a care package, you give the vouchers. I love that. I love that so much.
Yeah, man, you make people go pick up what them think is essential. As me saying, all right, what people don't understand, when we give $5 million for assist people, there is no constituency in Jamaica where every single person who live there need assistance. None. Every constituency have a local section where you have to assist people and your people are all right. So when you say the $5 million are not for everybody in the constituency. It's not everybody in a West Kingston need assistance when the time comes. No, you have people in West Kingston, we are right. Right? So it's to find the persons who need it, who need some goods for lockdown with who need some light, who need some water, and you help them out for the time being. That's why it was amazing that the day after the storm, some people in a I don't remember which one of the Negril constituency was those saying that them are dead for hungry.
It wasn't the day after the storm. It was the day of the
It
storm
was the day off. All right.
when they were telling them to go home because there was a curfew in place and they were telling them go home, you're not supposed to be on the road, and then they started to cuss and say why them need for lockdown and them need this and them need that and all of them something. They like, you hear the prime minister warning you over a week, why you never go try prepare from now? You wait the day after the storm. Jamaicans are not serious.
Good day, guys. I'm glad to hear everybody's back. I was wondering what was happening, so I hope you all are well.
So far.
Blessings.
I have just a quick thing to say about that $5 million. I don't have a problem with the Prime Minister giving out $5 million. The problem that he's going to be facing is that because the politics is so raw now, you give all the MPs them, whether PNP or JLP MPs, the money, right? To give to the poor people or who needs it. Who to say these people are going to get the money and they're going to come back and say, we're not getting nothing from nobody. Nobody not give away any money. How is that going to play out? You get what I mean? Because the politics is so raw. And if people are paying people already $50 to spread propaganda on the government, this is alleged, who are to say that when these people get this money or whatever, or they give their die-hearted people who don't need it, but instead of giving the poor people, how is that going to play out in politics? Because
Well,
we're in that season.
I'm glad you said that because I want to go back to what Riga Trigger said earlier, that people need to go working at them constituencies and the lazy MPs, and this was the perfect opportunity to bond with the people, get back close to the people who supported you, who placed you there, who voted for you. So what I would say, you are just digging a hole for yourself in the time of a catastrophe, of a hurricane, of a natural disaster. You did not utilize the money the way that it was supposed to be, right? So somebody said they have to sign them name and ID.
Yeah, so no matter how small it is, they have to sign for
We
it.
don't have no damage to light and water and internet, right? So you have to know whether you're planning to say, okay, this is my last term, or you're gonna say, okay, I'm going to actually utilize the funds and do what I am supposed to do, right? People need forgot the MPs them a dig them own wall. Them not dig it. Yes, it might affect Andrew, but Andrew has done his best. And I want to go also to I think it was the day before the hurricane, when they had a meeting with the Prime Minister, 63 MPs to include the opposition leader, and that is where they told them what the money was going to be, that what the money was supposed to be used for, and all of that. So they must know. They must know what they want to do. You have to choose, you have to choose a side. As I say, Marcia, the politics is high, it is ripe, it is nasty, so they have to know.
No, but here the Prime Minister say it's gonna be full transparency. Everybody, no matter how small it is, they're gonna have to sign. And even if they can sign, somebody who have to vote for who's to ever get in the package.
Because
So
what we need in these times is the same when he was giving out the $10,000 during the pandemics. What we need are these MPs, as you rightly says, to go into the constituencies, recommend these people. Now, you have a thing called direct deposit, where the government can says, okay, this person, based on what the MP said, we can deposit the 10,000 or how much money they're gonna give. Let's say they say $10,000 per person. And then you have that accountability. Instead of putting the money into the MP's hand, It come from the ministry's house.
No,
How to do
Marcia,
it with the
But it's
MPs
not
and
everybody. It's not
Marcia.
everybody have an account.
money,
You know, not
But this
everybody
is
have
Marcia,
an
it
account.
is not.
hold on.
It is not going to the MP. It is not going into the MPs, and
money don't go
it
into
goes to the
MP hand.
CDF, and there's a CDF manager. So it doesn't
Okay.
go to the MP. The MP not have nothing to do with it, and the Prime Minister not have nothing to do with it. All that was done, it was released to the CDF fund, so they can probably say, okay, we want
Yes.
1,000 vouchers, and they can do it. So it's like
Awesome.
there's still processes in place. I don't think anybody was actually getting any physical cash. It was
Okay.
more to go towards resources. So maybe you have a water drum where you need for full. Maybe you need to clear a drain immediately. Maybe you need to do like a bushing. It's like an immediate fund for projects, and projects can include food, resources, anything,
Right.
stuff
Now
like that. It's not
that
nothing to
is
do with
a
no
little bit
physical cash.
awesome. Now that is really good. What is happening also in Jamaica? We are moving to a first world country. Every Jack, Jill, Mary, Sue, whatever, supposed to have at least one bank account. If you want to access these resources, you get it through the government, because this is how you do accountabilities. You put the money, you give me your account number, and you put the money into the account. You have a trace to say where the money went to. So when we in this 2024, people say they don't have a bank account. That is bull. You're supposed to have a city
No,
No,
government.
no,
you
no,
cannot
no.
say
You
that.
can't
You
say.
cannot say
No,
that.
I
You
say
cannot
that.
say that.
Jamaica is a poor country right
No,
now.
no,
But
no,
it's
no,
still
no,
a
no, no,
rich
no.
place.
But this is how you build
No, yeah, but
wealth.
you can't say they can try to get there, but you can't say it's bull right now because there is a
This
lot
is
of
what.
people that Jamaica don't have
But
Yeah.
a
in
bank account.
order, hold on. This is why we have so much delay in giving out
Oh,
benefits
I
to
understand
people.
what you say, but it's not gonna happen overnight.
No, no, no. I am not saying that. Come on. I'm not saying it's gonna happen overnight. I'm saying the government, the government is supposed to put in place to say that. Listen to me. You supposed to get your pension. We're gonna put the money into your bank account. So what
No,
they
Marcia,
do?
but that doesn't happen in
Marcia,
Canada either, Marcia. That is not
Marcia,
everywhere, and you cannot
what,
force people to do it.
hold
No,
on,
no,
my
no,
guys,
no,
let me
no, no.
say this.
Hold on.
Marcia,
Uh-huh.
hold on, Marcia. Let me say this. Marcia, last year, I wasn't the year before. An effort to get more people in the banking system. The government said anybody open an account by X time would be given $2,500 to start that account. Do you
Okay.
remember that announcement, Marcia?
No, I thought it
All
was.
right.
Hold on. I thought it was something they're giving out. Actually, I saw it with JMMB. Said they will give $3,000 for a youth account.
No,
I
no.
never. Mhm, go
The
ahead.
Prime Minister said every single person who and they had ordered the bank to relax some of the requirement to open these accounts. And they said once you open an account, you will be given $2,500 in that account. You know how much people take up that offer?
Right. But what I'm saying, okay, and I totally understand that. The point I'm trying to make is right. The government gonna give pension, right? And well, your NIS, is that what it is? Your nationals, which is pension income or whatever it is. So the government got, because it's most of the time are the people who are elderly don't have a bank account, right? The
No,
government gonna,
no, you're
No,
wrong. That's
no,
what.
no, no,
I
no.
said most of the
Yeah,
time.
no. The
No,
elderly
man.
have bank account,
Account. And the
and
young
the
one
young
there.
people
All
don't
right.
have any.
So hold on,
So,
just let me
hold
just
on, Marcia, too. Hold on. One I think that we often forgot about is the fact that FinTech ravaged our banking
And
sector.
people afraid of
And,
it.
and people still afraid. When I was growing up, I used to hear people say, I carry money go to the bank because I don't want to borrow my money when the time come, I send money on a mattress and whatever. And I used to wonder why. But now me grow up, me understand, say, it a come from FinTech. So we have to remember, say, that we're still in a healing process.
but
We
hold
have
on.
not truly
Also,
healed
Marcia, the
as yet.
process for open the account them was very tedious,
No,
as I
let me
Chokina say.
explain. So let me explain this. You're talking about things FinSac, the kids who were born in 2020 or what age? Nine to reach 20 now. The kids who now are from
2004.
2004, they don't know anything about FinSac. Just give me a second.
That's
They
what
don't know anything.
and listen,
Just
Marcia,
bear with me.
please stop.
Just let
Marcia,
me.
please stop.
No, no, no. But
Don't
let
go
me
there.
explain. We're discussing. Let me just make my point,
No,
and
but
then
that
you.
the point did not make no
You
sense
Let
because
me
can't
it's
say
let
not
me
you
hear
true
what
you
she
can't say them
said.
not
Let
know
me
what
hear
the
what she
bank
said,
is.
Sheikah.
Hold on. You
A
can't say it
lot of
doesn't
things
make
are
no,
cultured.
no, no,
A
no,
lot
no,
of
no,
things
no, no,
are
no. But
cultured. And to
hold
say
on.
that people 20-year-old are ignorant to things like is another
Can
ignorant
I?
statement.
Okay, can I make my point, Lashika? Please? Just let me explain. You can always, or anybody can rebut it after, right? The point I'm trying to make is that we're going into a first world country, right? You have to move with the speed of the country that is moving. If you have a need account, a need ID, and a bank account, what we need is to allow the government to slacken the regulation and says each person is supposed to have one bank account. Every country, every person, you can use one ID. So let's say you have your need card. You can use that card to open the bank account, right? After that, if you want to open a second account, you have to provide more IDs. Now, in terms of giving the people who need the benefit to get them to open the account, you said the only way you can access these funds unless you open a bank account. We put the money because the government can do something. They're uploading the system of over 1 million people in less than half an hour and put
I'm
all of
saying
that
you cannot
money.
do that, and I am saying you cannot do that. That is against people's constitutional rights.
Yeah, you
What is
cannot
against the
force.
You,
constitutional right about that?
you can't you can't say you're not going to allow people
You
to
cannot
access
say you're not paying
resources.
people them pension unless them have a bank account. That
You
you can't
cannot
do that
do
with the
that. And
government.
Marcia, you live in Canada, which is considered a first world country, and that does not happen in Canada.
That's not
You
true.
know,
That
look,
is not true
Marcia,
there. No, 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 no,
Marcia,
no,
me not
no.
ask you.
No,
Me I
it's not
tell
Marcia,
you.
everybody.
me,
No, I live
Hello.
in Canada
Marcia,
too. I live
Marcia,
in Canada
me
too. There's
not
not
ask
everybody have
you.
a bank account in
Me
Canada.
work with the government of Canada. Me not ask you what me a
I
talk to.
work. I work with the bank. I work with
I
the bank
said
in
it,
Canada.
Marcia,
Marcia,
everybody in
I live in
Canada
Canada too, and it's not everybody
don't have
in
a bank
Canada
account.
have account. Some people don't even want to open account a bank.
Everybody open a bank account because the government tells them, the government
It's
say to
not,
you
it's
Marcia,
that
that
not
is
so,
not true, Marcia.
not so,
That
yes.
is not
unless
true.
you are illegal in the
It's
country,
And let
not
all right.
every
And all
illegal.
right. Okay, let
Marcia.
us take it
Some
down a
people don't deal
little bit.
with bank
All
none
right,
at
so
all.
everybody
All
Good
right,
say
evening,
calm down
hold
everyone.
and
on,
discuss it one at
extra.
a time.
Extra. Say everybody have a bank account. Say everybody in Canada have a bank account. When people are receiving benefits in Canada, everybody don't get it through their bank account. Your what you said about the
Most
needs is
government thing
correct.
go through mail, bill, go through mail, then check go through mail.
Most what you said about needs is correct, but what we need to correct in Jamaica is our postal service. That is very important. That becoming efficient will increase resources that people get. You that will increase the resources when you increase your postal service and they become efficient and effective. Then you'll be able to distribute the benefits that whatever benefits, well, mostly cash we're talking about. We
Chica,
will be able to
But Chica,
distribute
Chica,
it.
listen to this.
Chica.
Even in
Yeah.
America, America,
Marcia kinda onto something because a few years ago, the government of Canada they come out with doing something, maybe about 7 or 8 years ago, where them did a say basically in order to get benefits, you have to have one bank account to
of
put it in.
course,
So
I
there
work
was
in the
something
bank.
there's something about what she's
Yes,
saying.
I work in
They
the
were
bank
yes,
before.
I
I
they
am
work
were
in the
saying
they
the
were
government.
Jamaican
That
government
mandated.
try
is
the
what,
same thing.
Can
and
I?
government will tell you these things, but the government cannot withhold your benefits
No,
because
they
you do not
won't.
have an
They
account
Can
to
I?
get
won't.
it.
They
Can I?
won't. What
Can
You
I'm
I
the
trying to
come in?
government.
say, what I'm trying to say is that instead of going through that, it's faster to.
No, Marcia, that is not what you said.
No,
You
no, no,
said
no,
do
no.
not
Hold on.
give them.
Come on, girl. Listen to me a second, please.
The
What I'm
girl
trying.
me miss.
Oh
You
Lord
never
Jesus.
girl you yet.
Oh
Okay, go
God,
ahead.
man, sure.
Okay,
All right, listen. All right,
that's
hear me
okay.
out. All right,
Too risky,
hold on,
Let's
risky.
move
master.
on. Let's
Me
move on
call
from
go
it.
first. Master, calm down 1 minute. Me
No, no,
call
no.
go.
Let's
And
move
then,
on. That's okay.
one
Let's move
call.
on because we're just
Marcia,
gonna go back and
Marcia.
forth. Mm-hmm.
Hello.
Hi.
Yeah, me see me kind of tend to see where Marcia go. And one of the things where we need to do as a people and as a country is to encourage more people to have a bank account because it's much more easier for you. Because more and more the bank can move up from you can't go change a check on a bank again unless you have an account there. So we have to really and truly encourage people to open an account because it's
No,
much
no
more
call.
easier.
Hold on, Carl, we make
You
a
guys
record
are
part of that.
missing
You're
my
talking, let me
point.
hear.
Hold on, DJ. You can change a check at a bank if you don't have an account. What it does, it makes it easier if you have an account.
Yeah.
But if you don't have an account, then them have to go make you wait. Them have to go verify the check. Them have to go make some phone
No,
call.
they're
But they,
refusing. They're
They are
refusing.
refusing
no,
to
they
change.
cannot.
No,
Listen to me
Chuck.
now, sir. No, listen to me. I'm talking about something that I have done recently. When you go to a bank that you don't have an account to change a check, if they have, do you have an account here? No. Okay, we have to go verify the check. So they have to go call the issuing bank or the issuing company to get authorization to change it, but it has to be changed. They cannot refuse to change the check when the check is done at that bank.
Yes,
Chuck,
there was an
Chuck,
issue.
Chuck. I
Yes.
have some experience with that we are talking about. If you remember a couple of years ago, there was a whole heap of argument. I believe 1 or 2 years ago now, there was a whole heap of argument where the bank had charged a whole heap of money for change one check. And you remember the bank could have to reverse its position. I am saying to you, I have first-hand information, I have first-hand knowledge of what of that too. Because if it is you do have an account, it will cost you.
Exactly.
Cost you for change it. If you have an account, you just run it through your account,
Correct.
and you just either draw it back same time and it costs you little
Yeah,
or
but-
I
no.
think
Carl,
you
why
guys,
you say
So,
them
so
Good
then,
evening,
so then the
everyone.
argument is,
I think
in
you guys
my
are
views.
taking. Hold on, Carl. Hold
Chuck,
on.
it's true, Marcia
You guys,
talking, everyone have need.
I think you guys are taking the argument somewhere that we are not going. We are not talking about the fees and all of that. We are saying, what I am saying is the government cannot withhold your benefits because you don't have an account. That is what we are saying.
And
We are
I agree
also
with
But
saying that.
Keisha,
And we're,
Shika,
hold on, sir, please, hold on. Please, let me make the point. Please. We are also saying that, want to make me lose my train of my thought. Jesus, continue, Kyle.
hold on, Carl. Let me say this. If the government cannot, as Jay said, how you counteract that a little is by making the postal service more efficient, where you can actually mail check to the people. Is even in America when they might give out them COVID benefit in the last year, they might to mail check to people because it's not everybody have
So
a
most
bank
people in
account with a
Canada will
direct
get social
deposit.
assistance that through the mail, but and some of them are money mark, them are going to change in the bank. Money mark.
Chuck,
Not most,
Yes.
not
so,
most,
So
a
not all
lot.
of them have account to check. Go in.
Some.
Chuck, I'm Bridget.
Yeah.
My
So we are saying
understanding.
No,
it's
but me
not
understand what I'm saying. No, but in Jamaica, there's a lot of people left behind because there's a lot of people in Jamaica. They've known about the open bank account. They've known this. A lot of people have got to teach these people to do these things.
No man. Listen,
And there's a lot of people who don't have the account, and this is one of the things that the government is saying. Let us move into the digital society, and people are be in an uproar about it. This is the thing, I am not against it. I don't want anybody to think that I am against it. That we need to open the bank account, we need to make it easier for people to do business. None at all, I am not against it. But what I am saying, the government cannot withhold people's benefits because of that. And the same thing Extal say, we have a lot of check changers in Jamaica. We have a lot of them. So people can still get them check and still change them. You have people who work on site that collect check and go change them check. Those things are still very, very prevalent in Jamaica. So we cannot turn a blind eye to that.
Shika, whether you believe it, yes or no, my experience, because may help some people sometimes, some little elderly in my community. The government, for the most part, not is in no check to pensioner right now. It's strictly through the bank. Them are saying them pension.
when you say for the most part, well, explain for the most part. Right?
Yeah.
All right. It's out from a scale of 1 to 10. 8. I get them money through the bank.
So
Through the bank. Through the bank.
When I have the bank
You see
account.
KCC,
KCC.
No, okay, all right. You see the other two. Let me tell you the other two. You see the poor relief department, them pay out cash. Cash them pay out. But all those who will get money through NIS, through the bank it go. But the poor relief section, a KCC will pay out one little 3,000 odd, 5,000 at a month time, them get that in a cash. Up to last week, last Tuesday, last month, me drive my vehicle, go on Hanover Street, go make a bridge in a old bridge in the area, get him thing. So the NIS, I don't believe you can tell me one person where I get no money through the book them again. And through the account.
What I'm trying to say, guys, I'm not expecting this to be done overnight. It was a suggestion to say this is how we can improve on the system to make money goes faster to people instead of going through some agency where things get missing. The government, they sent the name. These are just suggestions. They can be ironed out, right?
The government, as I said, already made an attempt. They made more than one attempt to have more people enter the formal banking system. As we said, they go as far as trying to bribe people.
But you cannot stop, not because it doesn't work. You get certain people sign up for it, you continue doing it. Because I know my mom get her money, as he rightly said, through her bank account, through something there. If she doesn't have that book, that account, she don't get the money. Not only that, they have to do this every 3 months. Now the government is saying the life certificate, where they have to show that they're alive. So they have to go to a JP, the JP sign off on it, and then they send it to get their money. So the government.
Marcia, and Sheikah, where Sheikah says Sheikah right, you know.
I'm not saying she's wrong.
The government, hold on, the government now stick up nobody, you know, and say you're affy. But guess what? You see those people when I have an account, them are left behind.
Exactly.
Whether you believe it, yes or no, them are leave behind.
That's true,
but in a whole heap of mixed maroon.
But
in
Jamaica still have to realize there's a lot of people down in Jamaica. They have no foot my account. If people never got teach them or bring them or do certain things, then never go.
Look here.
I don't want to think that they don't know how to open their account. It's a rigmarole that people have to go through.
There's a whole heap of
No, man. There's a lot of people in Jamaica right now, but literate people don't know they can't even open an account. I tell you that.
Well, that is true. That is true. But another thing,
but that not in the majority though, boss.
Another thing that the government is coming with. Another thing that the government is coming with is, well, it has been there, the know your customer, but if you have an account like with Scotia and you want to open one at any other institution, you can just go over there and open it, because I think they're building like one platform, right?
But to make it easier.
This also will be facilitated by the NIDS as well. The NIDS is very important in the transition of the digital society that the government is talking about. So when the people them that Marcia not even Marcia, but Extal and Carl are referring to that they don't have accounts and all of that, they could just take their IDs and go into the banks, and then they will have very easy access to open an account, because their biometrics and everything will be embedded in the card.
And this is where now the government need to put in place the banks.
The banks make it too hard for people.
That's what I was going to address.
You know, a lot of people in Jamaica don't have an ID. Every time you send money to somebody, they might be try to find somebody who go pick up the money because they don't have an ID.
Again, this is where the government needs to step in. Right, but this is where the government needs to...
Marcia, hold on 1 second. I just want to put in this. Those people who will not have no ID and refuse to get the ID, them are going to left behind. And nobody must ball and sorry for them. Because look here, as much as we may talk about say some of them not have no intelligence and some of them are idiot and blah blah blah. Those who were seriously want to open an account and add on to the system can, because there is help for them. But some people bent them. All right, me have a good and like a joke. You know, me have a big sister, one of my big sisters, for me have more than one big sister. One of my big sister bent and said she now open no account. She now open an account. She now have nothing to do with bank. I mean, constantly I tell her, say you're going left behind. Because when you get a check, you're going to have problem for change it and support. Because she says she have experience in a building society already, where them rob up our money. We understand that some people really have genuine concern. But some people just not care and them are gonna left behind if them have an account. I just
Right.
that the system itself, I gotta deal with them.
And
Well,
Judith
these are
yeah,
wanted to
where
say
these are where the
something. Hold on,
government.
guys. Guys, hold on. Judith wanted to say something for the longest time. Let me hear from Judith. Hi, Judith. A lot of people don't vote Cedar Valley. Cedar Valley or Vala. Judith, you're here, Judith?
He's mute.
Did you mute here? Judith, if you are trying to speak, you mute.
Yeah,
Hello?
unmute her. Yeah, Judith, your
Yes.
time.
Hello? Good evening. A lot of people would have an account, but because of what? They don't have the resource, not even the resource, the people then, because what the bank is offering is you have to get 5 family members or you have to get a friend. It's not everybody want people know them business. You
But
understand? If they
that's what
just
I'm
need a
saying, Judy.
JP and just 2 somebody, but they need 5 somebody.
But Judy,
And if
that's what
it's
I'm
not
saying.
working, that is the next thing again. Then they asking you for a job letter and a lot of things. And would I like the government jump into it and sort it
Correct.
out that
That's
way?
what I'm trying to explain, that the government
Yeah.
need to let the banks put in regulation to say, because all you need to know to open a bank account is your full name, your date of birth, and your address. That's all you need to open an account.
Right.
If the government, hang on,
Master, we are coming out of what we call the money laundering era. Jamaica was just removed from what they call one grey list.
Yeah, I was about to say it, Chuck.
right,
Jamaica
but
is
hang
a money
on,
laundering hotspot. So, as
I
a government,
know, but listen to this. Listen to this.
Master, hold on, Master. As a government, we also have to be careful. There are certain regulations that are in place to protect the country also. So we just cannot allow people to walk in a bank and open an account and money are going and there is no checks and balance to where it is from. While I agree that yes, they can loosen up some of the regulation to open the account, but people still have to learn to give account to where the money is coming from.
And can I say this now? Those are some of the things the government need to iron out. Number one, in terms of to open what do you need to open an account? What the government should be doing or look at doing is to allow each citizen of the country to open one bank account, one with a basic ID like your need. The
But
need.
what is stopping them though, Marcia,
Just a
from
second. Just let
opening
me
one bank
finish, and then
account?
you can just let me finish, and then you can rebut me. So you can, the government's supposed to allow the citizen of every in the country, whether you're a citizen or naturalized or whatever, to open one bank account so you can have access to that account. After that, the government, the bank now, if you want to open a second account, then you can you have to get more ID. In terms of money laundering, it is the bank who's supposed to make sure the government charge them, because if a bank is taking in certain amount of money into the account, the bank can see that, because the bank, it goes through the processing department first before the bank release the money into the account. They can see where the money is coming into the account. They have a right, can block that money because they know this customer. They can put limits to say you can only have a deposit of $5,000 for the year, for the month. Anything over that, you have to declare where that money is coming from. So that is easy to work out. There are systems in place. There are systems that the government can, and the banking can put in place to penalize the bank. In Canada here, if a bank took over $10,000 in deposit, cash deposit, and they don't declare it to the Bank of Canada, they are charged $3 million and can lose their license. $10,000 if you don't declare.
We have the same rules in Jamaica whereby if you take any cash deposit over $1 million, you're
Yeah.
supposed to be reported and fined. But guess what? Guess what? We have a level of cronyism in Jamaica.
Thank you. Exactly.
Where
Exactly.
the banks them take part in it too. Where the
Exactly.
business them take part in it. You know how I know that? I went to sell a car once, and the guy write me a check. Write me rather than write me the check, he give me the cash 2 times and say, go, don't deposit it 1 time here, and he write me the receipt. And say, go deposit it 2 times and tell him that 2 times you pay your fee.
Chuck, the same thing going on the bank. The same thing going on the bank.
There are ways around them. So the
Again,
country.
hold on. Again, you have a thing called unusual activities. So you have the money laundering. You have what you call money laundering. Then you have another thing now called another layer, because people use that. You can have this thing called unusual activities, where this person, why is this person depositing? Pardon me? Why is this person depositing unusual amount of cash into the account? Where is this money coming from? So you also have those, but because there is no well, not to say that there are none, they're not being applied, because as you rightly say, cronyism, everybody know leeching. So who gonna charge leeching $3 million? Why should I do that? This is why we have so much corruption. So it's not about opening a bank account. Where the problem is the bank allowing the money to come through and nothing being done about it.
Well,
All right, Marcia, let me ask you a question.
Marshika.
The same thing going on in Canada too.
Even
What?
Let me ask you, right? Let me ask you a question. When last have you encountered the banking system in Jamaica?
Listen to me. I did
Like
have
to open an account and
me did
anything
have to
like that?
trace off one there where me have an account down there. The account was in dormancy. I went into just to activate the account. The woman told me, said the supervisor has to do it. I said, fine. She said, can you wait? Almost 3 hours I was in the bank, and I got up when she come and I said, no, this can't work. You can't have me here for 3 hours. You have your lunch. A customer, a paying customer waiting for 3 hours for you. Whether you're a manager or not, that is unacceptable. I said, no, this is not how CIBC works, because I work with CIBC. So you can't sit your fine ass in your lunchroom and I wait here for 3 hours. I said, don't let that happen, because I can report it to CIBC. So I know the banking system.
Yeah, so I want to know when was the last time? What were the requirements of it? You said you work in the banking sector, especially in Canada. So you have to understand that sometimes when monies come through accounts and stuff like that, when they are not flagged, it's because of the information that is provided to the bank. You are aware of that, right?
No, well, over here, immediately, like I said, they have 2 layers of protection. One is money laundering. So if you are depositing cash of 10,000 or more, you have to declare to the bank where that money is coming from, right? Then you have another system called the unusual activities, where you're depositing this amount of cash. The bank don't have to notify you on that one. The bank can report you. The bank reports you without you knowing it, because the bank gonna write up a form where it says that you send it to your manager or to, not even to the manager, or a back office that handles the fraud, and says this is what is happening. They now investigate the account, because they can see all the deposits that are coming into the account.
I was just asking because all these layers are in Jamaica. Every single one of them. They are there. They are there.
same thing in Jamaica.
I can tell you because I have worked in the system.
The same thing in Jamaica. I remember the last time I went to Jamaica and I was depositing
Hold on. Go on, sir. Finish up,
nine.
sir.
I was depositing 9,000 US, and I had to sit and wait for the manager. The manager have to take that deposit. No teller, none of them could have take that. I have to wait. They call the manager and he come in and bring me in the office. I had to go to the manager, and I guess the person under the manager have to oversee that deposit. So they have the same kind of system in Jamaica. The bank is just as rigorous as the ones overseas.
No, but these systems are not being applied.
6 years ago, hold on, Marcia. 6 years ago, triple after me say this, you can come in.
Okay,
6 years ago, I tried to make a purchase of for about 1.2 million, and the money was in different currency. The money was in different currency. And remember, so me tell us the bank never accept it. And I knew people in the bank, but I never go to them and say, hey, do this for me, do that for me. It was not accepted. It was in different, regardless of the fact that it was in different currency, they never accepted the money. Never accepted it. So those same layers that you're talking about, they are in Jamaica. Maybe they would have accepted it well. And When I came to Canada, I deposited more money. Well, more money than that, and it wasn't flagged. So I don't know. It all depends.
You know
And
what?
look,
Me
yeah,
say,
I think Scotia even worse. I think
Hold
Scotia is even worse than NCB.
It
Because
was
Scotia is
Scotia
a
that I went
Canadian
to.
bank.
Hold on, guys. Make it
Let
the
Triple
black
come
man
in.
say.
Make Triple come in.
Okay, good evening. My partner is a British citizen, and last month he wanted to transfer some money from his account in England to Jamaica here. First, he tried it first if it could work. He sent some money from his account to somebody in England. It got through. He wanted to transfer it out here, the JN out here, and they wouldn't let it through. And the banker asked a ton load of things out here. And him couldn't get the money. Him have to transfer the money to somebody in England and them have to bring out the money come here.
Yeah.
Yep. Yep.
That was a large amount.
Yeah, but did you know that for those of us who maybe know or maybe not know? All right, somebody a while ago say Scotia worse than NCB, and that's true. But did you know that Scotia is a Canadian bank and the same system where the Canadian bank them have in a Canada are the same thing Scotia about here. When you try to open an account with Scotia, it's like you pull teeth.
I
Couple weeks
swear.
ago, couple
And
weeks
I
ago,
and I
me
You have to
disagree.
make an appointment
no,
to do that.
well, look
I
here, yeah,
disagree with that.
you
and
That's
that's
disagree
what,
with
that,
what?
and
that
that's
is not
that's
true.
only in
What
Jamaica
part
though.
that you disagree with?
That
That is not
that's
true,
Jamaica.
man.
No, Shika, tell me
No,
what you
listen.
disagree with.
Hold on, man. I said Jamaica and Canada have two different banking laws, you know.
You know, take more than $50
While
for your gas
Well,
Scotia
while
Bank.
well, well,
while
well.
while, while hold
Okay.
on, while we may have similar policies, the laws are different. The banks, even though it's a Canadian bank, they are governed different, and because of that, there are different
Right.
regulations. Me not ask you this, me I tell
Can
you
I
no.
say something then
Oh,
in
well,
terms
Hold
of
well.
on,
that?
Master. Let me add something. About a month ago, my brother wanted to open an account in Scotia. And he went to the Constant Spring branch. They gave him a list of requirement. He went to the Halfway Tree branch. They gave him another list. He went downtown and they gave him another list. And believe it or not, all three branches gave him something different. So some of the time, we make things at the bank policy, but it depends on which branch you go, will affect how easy you get through. Some of them want an arm and a leg, some of them just want a finger.
Search up.
So,
Yeah, because the two bank me join, JN and NCB. JN never give me no problem. The only problem is that just because I'm not from Kingston here, so I have to go to the JP, go make them write the address, give me proof of address. Yeah, that's where I live. And me go back and me get through. Me got NCB again. Me open my account there. That's all them do send me over JN go pay our $100. We get back the address. And that's
Chuck.
it.
Chuck.
Listen, a fourth time me go a Scotia and then turn me down. Like the last time me decide say me nah left. Me say I don't know what the people them now want. Every time they
True.
send me back and me come there is something else. At the
Very legit.
hardest bank that
But
me
true.
believe that.
True. Chuck. Sir Chuck.
yeah, man, I hear you.
Yeah. One of the easiest way for opening an account with any one of the branch them, any one of the bank them, is when you get a letter from where you work from. Your workplace get a letter, them open it easy. Easy. You don't have no much problem.
And that should never
Because
be. That should
no,
never
well,
be.
I know it shouldn't even. Even though it shouldn't be. Me run a little small business. I may have people who me pay through online banking, through the bank, through the thing, right? And whenever time me have a new worker come into my fleet, a worker. Me end up just give them a letter and them go to the bank and all the bank is call me and verify. Say, this John Tom work with you? Yes. And then not have much problem. And I have seen where that is across the board. Once you work and get a letter from your company for go open a bank account, it is one of the most easiest way. And you won't go through them headache there. Trust me.
So to back to Lashika, she's right when she said the laws that govern the Canadian bank and govern Canadian bank and the one in Jamaica, they're different, which is true. But what they're doing is to get around them in terms of tapering them to not exactly the same, because in Canada, all you need is mandatory by the 12 provinces. All you need to open the first account is one piece of ID. Any piece of government issue ID, whether it's your social, well, we don't use social insurance anymore. Some provinces you can use your medical, which most of the provinces are against that because of privacy. But you just need one piece of ID to open one bank account. If you, and that normally is a checking account. Now, if you want to go back to open a second account, you have to provide more, two pieces, a photo ID and another piece of ID, right? In Scotia, pardon me?
Which bank you work with in Canada?
CIBC. I used to work with CIBC. Actually, I still work part-time with them.
But for open the account, you have to have at least $50.
No, you don't have to have any money. That's the government law too. You don't have to.
I use one piece of ID to open all my accounts.
Pardon me?
In Canada?
Yeah, one piece.
Yes, because
one
like
piece.
Hold on, you use one piece, but if you go, well, like I said, the law in Canada is you only need one piece to open the first account. The second account, they can ask you for a second piece of ID. It's up to them. They might say, because I know your customer, they might allow you to do that because you now have a bank card. But the first time you open an account, the law is that you can only open, well, if you have enough IDs like your passport or your driver's license or your whatever national ID, they have now a national ID. Not every province has an ID, but some provinces do. You can use those. Some of them take your medical card to use it. So the point
some of them, Marcia, we do one government ID and another credit card.
That's what I'm saying.
Credit card.
Exactly. Just exactly for the second piece. Exactly. Any one or two. The first is one or any two after that. You can use your driver's license and your bank card now to open the account after that. Now, in Jamaica, what I'm trying to say, the government's supposed to make it easier for people to open, because put it this way, whether you open an account or not.
Marcia, may I cut you?
Sorry, Carl. Is the people in Jamaica to make it easier for themselves to open a bank account?
Yeah,
not the government.
No, it's the government have to put the law in place, because the bank put up a fight. The bank is asking you for well, not asking you, as the gentleman Carl just said, that if you take a
You shouldn't have to have a job letter for what.
Correct. That's not supposed to be. So it turns.
No, but it has to be, Marcia. It has to be where we're coming from. And as Struck highlighted, we just came out of the grey list where Jamaica was seen as a money laundering country.
Yeah,
so all these regulations.
It's the bank.
But people are. Hold on, Marcia.
Hold
on, Marcia. Marcia, hold on, man. Marcia, hold on. Remember saying, Marcia, the people are participating in the illicit activities, So you cannot say the government.
Hold on.
And it's the government who has to go back and fix it. This is why when you go Western Union, they ask you for 10 piece of ID. This is why when you go in at the bank, they want your mother name, your father name, your mother, when your mother born, what size
I'm surprised
it is because of the money laundering that was taking place in Jamaica. And remember saying the money laundering contributes to crime and all kind of things. So the government has to protect.
The point I'm trying to make is, at the end of everything, who released the money? Who released the money to the bank account? I go into the bank, right?
If you my sister used to run like partner, and the people must send the money to the account and I said CIBC, and then on the account.
Well, it depends on how much. But what I'm saying,
no, it's partner, so it's a little bit of money. But Mr. Show said the fraud we are running, is the bank supposed to stop that?
Exactly, that's what I'm saying. At the end of the day, who released the money into the bank account? Who released the money? So if I go into the bank with $50 million and I deposit it, who released it? It's the bank. And this is where the government need to pressure the banks more to do better. Instead
But the
of
banks
just
have been doing, Marcia. This is why they took the initiatives that they did, and the initiatives that they took was to put in the multi-layer verification. When
Yeah,
you
but the
go to the
restriction to
bank,
me,
allow me to finish,
now
please.
stop the thing.
Allow me to finish, guys, please. When you go to the bank, and they said, and as Carl said, it's easier for you to open an account with your job letter. It's because I can prove where your where your funds is coming from when money are coming in your account. Me not have to flag your account,
yes, they're
right?
supposed to flag it
So,
still. Because if they put too much in there, if you know
Marcia,
that
hold on, no. Marcia, hold on, let me finish, right? So we are sure, say you're gonna get $5,000 per month. I don't know if you saw the video the other day with the guy that says when the government were paying the people, them, the civil servants, them the 1 million and the 1.5 and the 2 million, all the people them salary were on hold because the banks thought it was fraud. These are the policies that are in place because of the high risk of money laundering
Yeah,
that takes
yeah,
place in
Lashika,
Jamaica.
because
So the
my account
government
is.
has put in things in place. The banks are acting on the regulations that are created. Remember that oftentimes the regulations that are created from an international perspective.
hold
They
on a
look what is going on in Canada, in Europe, in America, and they say, okay, this is
no.
what they have done, and
Can I
this is
say
what
something
we
to you
can
in
do
terms
to
of the teacher?
mitigate money
Hold
laundering.
on.
Hold on, just one point
Listen,
here.
listen. I try open an account a couple times, right? With Scotia, and I had my job letter. Now I based overseas, but I carry my job letter from the company that I work with. I have the only thing I could not prove. I did not have uh, anything stating my exact apartment that I live in. You understand? I couldn't say, well, I couldn't prove that I live in apartment 289 on Fire Trail Road. I just didn't had anything stating that. But I had my resident card, I had my all the IDs, all the IDs. I have driver's license for Jamaica, driver's license for here, IDs for here, IDs for there, all of that, except that one little detail that I just can't show them on a piece of paper that I live on Fire Trail Road, and they would not open that account.
Can I
Scotia,
say
very
something now?
difficult.
In terms of the money that the bank flagged for those teachers, they were wrong to do that. You know why they were wrong to flag the account? Because the bank knew where the money is coming from. Every time you make a deposit, it shows a direct deposit to the account. It shows it coming from the Ministry of Education. So the bank
Yeah, but
should
people
not.
are scam the Ministry of Education. What if they
What?
hack the Ministry of Education? And Marcia, you know that they put a limit onto how much money you can
That is
access
different.
per month.
Exactly. That is
Marcia,
different.
that why I asked you the question earlier as to how when was the last time you interacted with the banking system? I went to the bank last year in Jamaica, and when I was reopening one of my accounts, the guy said to me, "How much money are you expecting to put in the account on a monthly basis?" So if anything come over that, they are
Yes, them are gonna seize
anticipate them
it.
are going to flag it. These
Correct.
Yeah,
are the systems that are in place. We
yeah,
We're
that's
not.
cannot
what they
beat
set
it.
into.
No, we're not. I'm not saying the system are not in place,
I have that for
As,
you. They asked me the same questions too.
as Chuck said, because of cronyism and nepotism and all of the corruptionism that is going on, why most of the time the money get through the account. And you know who they penalize in the end? The little man who is opening their one bank account that to put something. The government has a right for every citizen, as a legal right for human rights. Every citizen must have a bank account. As a legal right in a country, the human right law is that every citizen, which
Hold
Jamaica
on,
is part of the
Asa. A bank account is that a human right?
Pardon me? Yes.
A bank account is that a
Yes,
human right?
yes. It's a human rights. Yes. Yes, dear. It's
A
yes,
bank account is
yes.
not a
No,
human
no.
right.
The bank,
That's a choice, Marcia. That's not a
It's a
human right. That's
choice.
a
it is
choice.
a
A human
human
right.
right there to have every
No.
citizen of a country
That's
has
a
a
choice.
right.
You choose to do
Master.
that. You choose to do
No,
that. You
Marcia,
choose to
not
do
take it
that.
wrong.
No,
JLP
honey,
Marcia,
I
a bank account is not
yes.
a
Well,
human
you
right.
yes, as a
It's
human
a
right.
privilege, boss, yeah.
It's
No,
a
it's not a
privilege, not a right.
privilege. Okay, I'm not gonna argue. In if you read the human rights declaration,
Government have no control over that, Marcia. The
listen to
government
me.
can't
In
bound
the
you for
if
opening
you
an
read it,
account. Come
go
on.
read again. Every
We can
country has a
encourage it, but we
human
can't force
rights. The basic fundamental, because what happened
All
when you
right,
have a
Marcia, let me
bank?
ask you
But
this.
Marcia, the
Marcia,
government do not
it's a,
stop anyone from opening
That's
an
what I'm
account. It
saying. The
comes down
Marcia,
to you. It's not
question,
the
let me ask you.
government.
Hold on, Sam, let me ask Marcia this. Marcia, is it mandatory for you to open a bank account in Canada?
No, it's not.
Okay.
Exactly.
Neither
No,
in
Right there,
but
you
Jamaica.
prove your
it's
point.
the human rights law that every country, every citizen of a country, call it citizen or resident of a country, it is your
That
human rights
context is
law.
not right, Marcia, man.
What do
Context not
you
right. The context is not right.
what do
Context
you
is
Not
not
a
right.
mean?
human right, Marcia.
Have you studied
Marcia,
the human
human
rights?
right is the right to life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness.
No, that's
That
not
context is
Marcia.
not right, Marcia. That
okay, I will
context is
leave
not
it.
right.
I tell you what
But,
you
but
do. Go
let me
All
put
study
it
right,
this
it.
way,
me
Marcia.
understand what she is saying now.
No, it's
She has
right.
said
But
basically
I understand what you're
you
saying,
can discriminate against.
Go
You can
study and
discriminate.
see.
I
Exactly.
understand
I
what you're
understand
saying.
too.
But
But nobody
it's
I
do.
in
don't
the
believe you.
Human Rights
Nobody do that.
Declaration. It's in the Human Rights Declaration that every citizen of a country has
Hey,
a right to have a bank account.
you
It's
got a
a
lot of
All right.
Human
car.
Rights
You have a
Declaration.
lot of car.
Master, hold on. Let me see if we can say it this way, Master.
Boy, pick up my phone to call
You
you.
have a right to open an account, but it is not a human right.
Yes, it is a human right. It's in the Human Rights Declaration.
Well, me
What?
gonna look feet. Me gonna look feet.
Let me
Which
look right
part? Which
now.
time if you find it?
You
If I
have a
find it,
right to
Go
I
read
open
will
a
it.
come and
bank
apologize to
account
you
to make
publicly
life
because I don't think
easier.
that's a human right.
After I
It
I
make
am going
life
to look it
easier,
up.
not a human right.
But Master, all right, when we ask about the rules, the rules are there, you know, Master. Every rules where you think of is there. The government of Jamaica last year, as I said, try to make it easier. They actually create what they call some low income accounts that you
Exactly.
that hold on, that you only need $100 to go up and one piece of ID and
And
a JP
why do
verification.
you think they're doing that?
But Master, people still don't take it up.
They don't have to, but you make it possible for them.
Yeah, but it is possible, but not mandated.
We didn't say it was mandatory. We're
Right?
not.
But it is but all right. So it is there. The low income accounts are there that people only need limited ID and only $100 to go open.
Exactly, because exactly that's the point I'm making. So when the bank in Jamaica asks you for 6, 7 different types of ID, that is wrong because you're supposed to have at least one account to make it easier for them to open at least one bank account.
As a no bank in Jamaica asks for no 7 ID. People exaggerate here.
They don't hear me. They don't hear me. Just hear them and
Bank
ask you for.
asks for 2
The lady
ID
just say
and
it, you know.
a verification letter.
The
2
lady
pieces of
just say it,
ID.
you know. When Miss Triple,
Yeah.
No,
Triple,
Chuck. When
Yeah.
me I go my account, you see me never da work. Me never da work up I made what my account up JN there so. And the only thing them ask me for my ID and just because I'm not from Kingston, right? Me have to go to a JP go make him write a letter give me proof of address where me live in Kingston. And not
Right.
even half an hour the account not take for open.
anyhow,
Alright,
the
so
point we're
Master,
trying to make, the point.
don't follow people exaggerate. You don't need no 7 ID.
No, come on.
No,
What? Don't
that's
need
a
to
lie
talk
people
about
are
these
doing for the
things.
bank.
The point we're trying to make is the point I'm trying to make is that the government, which he's doing, and I'm not saying that he did not. I am not saying we were talking about how to open an account, and then it pushback was that well because the banks make it so hard to open an account, and I'm saying well it's the government then to make it as easy as possible for people to have at least one bank account, right? That's how this part comes in, and
People to make their life easier, not the government. That not depend on the rest of the government. That people to make their life easier.
No, stupid. The government to make people like that's why the government are there to make people like easier.
To do,
If the
because
government
these
wasn't there,
are,
there would be chaos.
if you don't do that,
That
these
is the
banks
number
will
one job
ask
of the
you.
government.
Yeah, these banks will ask you for all kind of stuff to open account, to do this, to do that, and it frustrated. And that's why you see some people, even though the banking system is not trusted, they still have a right to, when you're ready to go open that account. And that's all I'm saying is that when you open these
Sam,
accounts,
your background noise when you're not talking. Please keep your mic muted. Yes, Sam.
when people open account for themselves, it make to get social benefits. Instead of going through all of this, they could just upload those checks to the account and deposit them. Yes, I agree that sometimes people might not want to do it, and you might still have to send out check, which as one of the gentlemen said on the panel, to say them going to be left behind. Because nowadays, if you notice, they are now doing bank cards. And this is one thing I must admire about this guy here, even though I don't agree with him 99% of the time. One thing I support him is Fitz Jackson, how he took on the bank, and he's trying to get the bank to drop the fee. Because if you go cash a check at Scotiabank, whether you have an account or not, in Jamaica, they want to charge you. And that's what Fitz Jackson is saying. No, if I have an account, you're not supposed to charge me because I'm already paying the fee to have this service. So that's one thing I must give credit to Fitz Jackson about. With how
Master, here's why I don't follow you know why I'm not give no credit to Fitz Jackson for that? Because Fitz Jackson sat in a parliament where he had a 2/3 majority and did nothing until he was in opposition.
well, agree with you.
So I'm not giving no credit fee.
That is true. That is true. You can say my
Me
pay
need that
politics
chuck.
for
Me
it.
need that chuck.
That is
I'm not
true.
giving no credit fee.
That is
But
true.
but you know something what I know about Scotia?
Hold on, Sam. Let me hear Dane Sparta now. Dane Sparta say he want to get some of the power.
Go ahead.
Where I say now, Dane?
Yeah, big up everyone on the panel. You know,
Yes,
I
sir.
really like the conversation. I was listening to it for a bit. And you know what? It's good when people can build, you know.
If me did ever know say you, me not add you.
Me? Who's that?
Me not even did realize say you.
Who's
What me
this?
add you for? Why me add you?
Who's
PNP?
who
You
this?
don't know Dean Sparta? A regular way and him showed up. You know remember Dean Philippines?
Oh no. Today's a different day.
Is he a PNP?
You know matter about what?
You don't know what him a
Where I
want.
say
But
where I
we and
say
him ever they show down. Go on Dean.
Okay.
Well, you know what? Okay, the bank fees. Bank fees is a big problem, right? You see, if the customer has an account with the bank and they have to like pay the cash or check, then that's a ripoff. That's a direct ripoff to the person. The government need to protect the security of the citizen by making sure that their financial needs are met without wasting too much. You see the whole big thing that Nigel is doing. I mean, hey, it is what it is, right?
What is that? We don't understand that statement.
Yeah, me not understand that part Dane. Me not understand. I agree with you up until when you said the government to do them best. And I believe so one of the best way the government can do. I believe the government need to open a bank. Yes. The government need to open a bank and call it Jamaica Bank and do without
Bank
all
of
the
Jamaica?
No, not Bank of Jamaica. That the central bank is different. The government need to open a commercial bank and enter the market and get some competition. You know why?
What do you mean enter the market and give some competition? Economically speaking, how is this good when there's systems in other countries where you can use your cell phone and pretty much do whatever you want to do with banking?
But you can do it in Jamaica too.
Sorry?
But you can use a cell phone and do pretty much anything in Jamaica also.
Yeah, but why you want to give more power to the banking industry so that they can rob the people more?
Yo,
Now,
this
who said
man
give
not come
more
at
power?
Jamaica. I don't know nothing about Jamaica banking. If him say that he don't know nothing about Jamaica banking, anything
What you
Yeah,
mean?
don't be so quick to judge,
Hold
brother.
on. Let me understand. What you mean? Which part of what we say would I give more power to them?
If you want the government to create a new bank, which is not a central bank and like a national reserve, pretty
Yeah.
much, what are you trying to say? To impose more economic discourse on the people by creating a new bank?
No, the whole is that gonna import? We are gonna give the people
well,
a
you
choice.
tell me. Okay, well, equitable banking practice is what should be the difference between the banking system that exists there now, where everybody is equal. Nobody is looked at in the tax bracket that makes them get tax cuts and the poor doesn't.
All
So
right, but
equitable banking practice, that those policies need to change. So definitely that's the place to start.
here's the problem with that. And I know the bank alone it affect in Jamaica. It affect almost every industry. You see, any industry where forms an association amongst itself, the people will never get benefit from it. The bankers association, where them sit down, where them meet once a month and decide, say, these are our fees, how we are going to implement them, so it no matter. If you run go over there, so the fee over there. If you run go over there, so the fee over there. That is the problem we have. The bankers association make it, you won't get anything because all are with them on the same level. We are charged the same fee. We are given the same restriction. We are do everything for the same. So there is no benefit for the people again. When we say the government will open my bank, is that the government, if you open my bank and say, listen to me not charging no deposit fee, me not charging none of that, me not charging none of that. People need to flock towards that bank, and then the rest of the bank, them have to go fall in line in order to keep them customer.
Got you. Now I get the clarity of what you're saying. Yeah, I do support that, and I hope that bank that you're suggesting will have equitable banking practices and not make the poor person, like a poor farmer more or less, feel out of place when they go to use the services.
But remember, that's why I'm sorry, I'm gonna say this now. That's why back in these days, Siaga, that's why Siaga did start that's why Siaga did start the agricultural development bank, you know, because Siaga the same one from bank, when the farmer walk in there, he no feel out of place. So he formed the agricultural development bank. So a little farmer from another country can walk into that bank and feel normal and get him in business done. So there has been places, there have been some thought about it over the years. As me say, Jamaica right now a come back from a period where we did actually down under the earth and we are dig ourselves out now. So majority of the system that we want is already in place. We just need to get to a point where all of them is enforced right across the board. And as me say, I want with this band, the Bankers Association, the Bakers Association, the gasoline retailers, I want to get rid of all of them association there. If the banks in Jamaica had to compete against each other, the customer would win. But the banks in Jamaica do not compete against each other. They sit down in a union together and decide, say, make we milk them, they can't go nowhere. So unless we can get the banks to start complete with them one another, the people will not benefit.
What I think the government should mandate when they come on to the banks is the banks them need to have a 12-hour, so 7 to 7 for facilitate the people them, because we're not in the digital age and you can't have 10 teller desk and only 2 at work when the bank have 100 people. That really need to be mandated. That really need to be mandated. You see, you have 2 teleworking and then you have only 1 doing senior citizens. That cannot be right. When you take 3 hours from a person.
You go to the bank to deposit some money, I have to take seat and sit down as if me no know, me not get it. And I have money I go put in the bank.
You don't have no job, and this is why the country is losing in the productivity area, right? Because people are going to bank, go spend 3 hours, 4 hours for just deposit some money. That can't right, and if money you depend on, that cannot be right, man.
Listen, me been to the bank to deposit money. After me sit down a whole hour, I was so frustrated because the amount of somebody me still see in front of me. After I waste that hour, I had to get up out the bank and go about my business. I had to find a different day if you go deposit.
3:30.
So I waste that time.
Bank like 2:30, Sam, and 3:30.
Yeah.
And this is why you see now Nigel came out again the other day with the banking machine, where you have one bank machine for the whole community, and you have 50 and 60 people. That's not supposed to be. Because even if you extend the hours, if they don't put enough tellers on the wicket, it's still not going to make sense. So you're right in terms of, yes, more tellers. You can't have 10 wickets and only 2 tellers there. 3 tellers, one for the senior citizen, which is fine, one for the senior citizen, and another 2 teller for the whole of the rest of the banking people. And then you have a business person comes in and depositing this large sum of money, take up one whole one. So definitely that's true. They need to do better. And this is why we said again to say it goes back to what the government, some of this stuff that the government is putting in place. And as Nigel came out, I think it was in the budget where, or was it the other day, gone, where he said that if the bank machines are down within 24 hours and so forth, they must be fixed or something like that. You can't wait 2-3 weeks after.
But another thing
Well,
what the bank
inefficiency plague the system. We got to say that the Bank of
man.
Jamaica has to do more to manage the inflation rather than the exchange rate. Sometimes it feels like they lose focus.
Well, put it this way,
Right?
inflation is
Exchange
not
rate.
I disagree.
Okay, the exchange rate has been
Ian,
ignored.
I
Can we
disagree.
say that the exchange rate has been
Inflation
ignored?
is also managing the exchange rate.
Hold on. Can we also say that the exchange rate has been ignored? Is that
No,
fair
it's
to say?
not. No, it's
No,
not.
it's not.
Okay, so
The exchange rate,
okay, go ahead.
Our dollar has been stable for the last 5-6 years.
No, it's not.
No, it's not. No, definitely not. So
Yes, it is. Not because you
wait,
see
wait.
going
This is the target range. Okay, this is the Bank of Jamaica target range, right?
Chuck, hold on.
From 4% to 6%. 2%. Wait, hold on. Let me
No,
finish
you
that
hold
because
on.
I want to know.
No, you hold on. Then, before you come with that, you have your facts. You can back up your argument.
Yes, I do.
So bring your facts. Bring it on to us. So
So
start
basically,
from where we're going to start from,
let me
Chuck.
go. So basically,
Hold on, man. Chuck, which year we want him to start from?
No,
we're starting from the objective of the BOJ. So the BOJ is
going at the COVID years.
Okay, so we are start from when?
2021. Now, we X out
No,
the COVID years.
No,
No.
him say the dollar stable. Some want him to give it like a little bit of a history of where the dollar is coming from
No.
and how it slide along the years and where we are now.
Well, to summarize
So
that
that's
in
where I
one
was.
in one sentence is that remember first time the dollar was controlled, so you did not know the true value of the money because you control it and you plug it. Now what the government did, I
yeah,
think it started.
Marcia, you have to give me a chance. You can't speak over me when it was my turn. Shakes asked me a question and I was trying to explain it, but you cut me off. So
Go ahead,
basically, let me get to the point because my person is quick and I want to get to the point. So the main objective is to control the inflation rather than the exchange rate. But it seems like the exchange rate has been ignored, right? So what really remains?
Explain to me when you
How
say the
has
exchange rate
it
is
been
being
stable over the final 6 months of 2022, right? This was the last target range, right? From 4 to 6, right? So the peak actually it decreased from a peak of 11.8% in April 2022 to 9.4% by
Oh,
the
you're
end of
talking
that
inflation.
same year in 2022. So go ahead.
You're talking inflation
Oh,
or the
well,
dollar?
we were talking about inflation. Yes.
Yes, but yeah, Bar. So remember that during the COVID era, inflation ran up to about, I think it was 11% at the peak.
11.8.
11% at the peak. Where is
Yes.
inflation now?
It's at 9.4, I think.
No, it's not. Don't do that.
9.4 of that same year, it ended up at 9.4 in 2023.
Oh, at that same year, yes. And then the government started to aggressively target inflation. But where's the inflation today?
You tell me.
It's at 5.8.
Can I ask you something,
Well,
Dane?
that's the
Is
economic,
it 5 or 4, Chuck?
the real number, but
Oh, it's 5.4. It's not
5.4. Oh, yeah.
Can I
5.4.
ask you
yeah.
something? Can I ask you something,
Hello,
Dane?
hold on. Inflation is coming down from 12, then it go 9, and then 7, and then, now they are 5.4. The government is
5.4.
doing
Thank you, Robbie.
exceptionally well.
But can I ask you
Continue the
something, Dane?
conversation.
okay. So
Dane,
Clark
you live
make
in you live in North America or in Europe, right?
no, Nigel Clark made a good decision. I appreciate it for that, right?
Can I
Because
ask you a question?
forget about where I live.
No. Okay. No. I just
Live
want to
in
make a
Canada,
point.
Marcia.
So,
Marcia, I live in Canada. I live downtown Toronto.
Let him
okay.
come forward
So,
and
okay.
the
So if
question.
him live downtown Toronto, him know that in Canada here right now we're fighting inflation because
Marcia, yeah,
the government came out last year, or was
Marcia,
it early,
Marcia.
earlier? Can I just let me finish? The government of Canada, Trudeau, came out couple of months ago and said he want to have a meeting with all the retailers, how they're going to get down the prices of stuff because inflation, people couldn't afford. The prices were going up every week. We used to get a dozen egg for $1.50. Now we're paying $6 and $7 for a dozen eggs. Okay, so Jamaica is not immune to Jamaica alone. Inflation. USA is fighting inflation. The economy in Britain. Just a second. The economy in Britain almost crashed a couple of months ago because of the high inflation. So it's
Jamaica.
not unique.
Let's just stick to Jamaica. So back to what we were saying. So in 2022, it was at 9.4, right? This actual decrease was a good move because they decreased the energy rates. The inflation was mainly due to that, right? And some of the strategic money policies was changed, like the Monetary Policy Committee tightened up some of the monetary conditions. So that's good, right? Marcia, how is what you're saying comparing other countries and all this? How is that going to give us an understanding?
Because it does. It does. Because every country is having, if Jamaica is having
the issue there. Jamaica is not operating in a bubble. We live in a globalized world.
Inflation is not unique to Jamaica.
In the bubble.
Inflation is not. So it's
what
a
you must give
worldwide.
credit is that Jamaica is managing it better than most.
Exactly. The economy is growing and inflation is trickling down. So Jamaica is actually growing faster. As a matter of fact, it came out in the New York Times that Jamaica was growing faster in a sense than the United States. So it does, because we do trading with them. So it does affect us. So you have to make the comparison because we purchase good from them.
How do you compare? I mean, without doing the ratio calculation, how are you going to compare
You
3.5?
don't have to do the ratio to see what is happening. You don't have to.
Okay,
You can
let's.
see what is happening.
I guess, Marcia, let's dig the information more than digging at something that is comparative.
But
No,
why do you have to when you see what is happening? Is the inflation affecting you in Canada here?
holy, oh my, what does that?
No, but you're talking about inflation like it's unique to Jamaica alone.
Why did you
The
go?
point we're making, if
Why?
Jamaica is a developing country,
No, but-
Jamaica is a developing country, they're gonna have, because we don't have the Jamaica is a small country. We have small industries.
Folks,
We
have a wonderful evening. Thank you very much.
Marcia, the question I would like to ask this fella, these guys, they're trying to talk about a perfect Jamaica or a perfect country, which there is none. Why is it not looking to Jamaica for everything to be 100%? The countries that live in is not 100%, but expect Jamaica to be 100%. Too ridiculous, man.
Expect it to be. We expect that the banking practices are.
Everything to be perfect, brother. You don't want a perfect Jamaica all of a sudden because a labor right is in charge.
Also
You
want to-
live with it. Live with it at 25% under PNP and don't complain. But now that labor right is in charge, you want 100% of every single thing.
We are calling for better banking policies.
You
That's it.
see all of that come down under the government. The government you slightly try blame right now.
No,
But
what you, when we formulate money, when there's a formulation of monetary practices, who is at the sitting table?
Dean.
Go
When
into this.
was the last time?
No, we can't go into this, and there's no need for it, right? The central banks take into account everybody, all of the current, pretty much future micro and macroeconomic development in the island. That's what they do. All the fiscal operation, everything, the outside sector, whatever relevant market information, that has to be pushed into it. This decision, I'm saying, yes, okay, hats off, Nigel. You did a wonderful thing. And somebody's telling me, what did the person that said, Sam, you see that you're not following the actual keynote of what we're actually saying.
Well, probably some of that missed me because I went away from the phone for a second. So I probably for about a minute or two. So maybe
So
some
let
of
me
that
ask you
missed me.
something, Dane.
But I know where you're going with the argument anyway.
Hold on.
Let me just ask you.
Hold on.
Well, where am I going? We're building.
Hold on. Let us
For
not
the people
assume
in
where
the
this is going.
Okay, this
for
is
the
the
people in
Yes,
the
continue
comment section.
conversation.
Dean, hold
Continue.
on.
question then.
Hold on, Dean. For the people in the comment section who are asking us about Dane. We know who Dane is. Especially me not forget him. We know who Dane is. So why you did that talk? Well, we know this and we know that.
I'm
We know
building.
Dane. We know who
Because
Dane
I
is.
don't know him. I don't know this person.
Listen, this is the thing.
Me know who Dane be. Me know Dane. Me and Dane clash all well. Anytime in the panel live and he always flex
All
Can I
right
and
ask
then.
you?
leave.
Okay,
If
Can I
let's
you
ask you a
used to that regular
straightforward
on the
question?
live, see Robbie there. See Robbie know who Dane is.
Can I ask you a straightforward question, Dane?
interest rate. In a
Yeah.
just interest rate, right? This deposit taking institute.
Hold on there. Then, hold on. Marcia wants your question. Hold on there. Go ahead, Marcia.
Just one question I want to ask you. What do you think of this government?
Sorry?
What do you think of the government? How they're performing?
Where?
Who you be PTA?
Pardon
Oh,
me?
your caption sign there. Oh.
Sorry, hey, listen. We're here for government that works for people. I
No,
don't
no, no. I'm asking you a question. Just
Yeah,
And
what
direct
do you
know
think?
that
question.
we
Answer
had
it
one for
directly.
18 years that wasn't working. So we're asking you, what do you think about this one now?
in terms of what? That's a broad
In
question.
terms of their performance.
What they're doing
Guys,
for the country? Whether
Dane
it's
Economic
Dane
performance.
is
Across
not.
the board.
Economic.
Dane is
Holland,
not in support of the JLP.
Hey.
So he's not going to give you a straight
We
answer.
want to hear it from the mouth. We want to hear it
let me
from the
hear
mouth.
me.
Him
So
say it
ask him
all
a
the
question.
time.
If you
Well,
Him
talk,
say it
Why?
all the time.
well,
That's a
me there,
direct
me go
question to
rubbish
him. Let him
everything where him have
answer
to
it.
say.
Government all the time.
Come, make him answer. Cause me there, so with whole heap of
Let him answer it.
information.
Let him answer.
No one here.
so the economic performance has shown some sign of improvement. It has.
Shown some signs of improvement.
Wait.
Let him
What
finish.
was
Let
it
him finish.
like pre?
Philippians.
What was? Yeah, go ahead. Okay.
I'm gonna say it
Let him
because
finish.
holy. You know what? Thank you. Because nobody wants to give me a chance. And
Yeah,
this
we will get a chance though. I asked them to let you finish, so
I'm
they
not
will
putting no man
let you
at
finish.
sign
Go
stay.
ahead. Go ahead.
Sam at sign stay and we just jump off our live and say, I'm gone and get mad. At sign stay. The PM no mind and then we come back another day. So we just get mad and just jump off.
I guess you know
No,
him.
but then, more you answer the question. That's a good question. What you think of the performance of this government?
time and this, at least
Across the board.
you think I'm trying to misguide nobody? I'm not into that.
Answer the question.
Me tell him say nah go answer. Me I tell him no. Alright, listen, maybe don't talk. Me not say nothing more.
Right?
Answer the
And
question.
Jamaica's economic performance, let's make it sound, whatever, shows some sign of improvement. As it recovered, it did recover from the pandemic, like an economy that was pandemic driven. And at the same time, there was a recession going on. However, whatever condition was limiting the growth was addressed. Most of them was addressed, some of them was unaddressed. Okay? We all know that. So during the pandemic itself, right, there was a decline in private consumption, right? The GDP dropped by around maybe 10% between 2021 and 2022. Real GDP I'm talking about, not the annual average, which I think was 4.4 at the time, right? Now, where was the recovery of the agriculture sector and the tourism sector in that time? State of emergency took over, I guess, right? Meanwhile, the GDP per capita rate
Hold on. Break up now, then. Break up. It's the.
declined.
Hold
Hey,
on, there.
may I
Hold
run
on.
him off right there? So can you hear me start with
No,
full
sir.
They
No,
not
we
be a
not ready.
dance, yeah, dance, man. Just answer the
Hold
people them directly, no?
on.
Jesus.
Hold on. Let me set out something to you, then. Let me say something to you. More you answer the question, but more you do it without flinging stone while you answer.
Okay, flinging stone.
Yes.
So I
Jamaican term,
Once
fling rock.
you fling stone, you're going to get interrupted. So answer the question straightly. Tell us the performance of the government.
said
That's
the
what more you answer. Are they doing good in finances? Are they doing good in security? Are they doing good in tourism?
it did
Answer the
recover from the
question.
pandemic. It did, but there was some underlying limiting growth that still remain unaddressed. That's gonna be.
Which is what?
You
Which
want me
is
to
what?
some more?
Yeah.
The GDP in 2021, between 2021 and 2022, it dropped to 4.4%.
You know, you know how factors are relating to that
Why
for
was that?
something. You know
Why
what
was
other
that,
factors
Dane?
relate to that.
And we had a pandemic, right? We had a pandemic, so I don't know why he bring that up. That
So
makes no
let's move
sense.
out of the.
World. This was
Explain.
a
People say we are
worldwide
bullying, so
pandemic.
allow
A
him to
pandemic
explain.
is worldwide.
He's
So
a
No,
let's.
let's go ahead.
Philippines, all I know, we all know that, but
There-
allow him to explain because people saying we are bullying
And
him, bullying Dane. So then explain why there was a drop in the GDP
2020,
in 2020, 2021.
okay, per person in 2020, and just spent 9,000 on each person, $9,241. Yes, let's go at it. I got it. In 2021, he spent $10,026 on each person. Right? That's the calculation. The World Bank expect the GDP to recover with the pandemic levels over the 2 years that came after that, 2022 and 2023. Right? What real GDP projection? How did it grow? What was the percentage that it grew by?
All right, so let us look at what 2023. Let us look at the GDP for 2023 and how much Andrew spent for 2023, and remember that projections aren't
Did it,
factored,
yeah, I want to know how much you pay for 2023.
right? Yeah, but we have to, because we're gonna start about we're gonna talk about after COVID, things are gonna happen. We're a developing country. World Bank projections are not necessarily factual. So
It,
not because World Bank says so if it go, I saw it a go. Don't.
no, it's based on spending and loans.
No, but yes, no, but it not necessarily means say it a go so. Because when economy are recover, they can only project and
So,
project what you're forecasting to
so
happen,
Dane,
right? It not necessarily means say it a go be true or it a go happen.
Okay, you know what's going to be true? Still, at 1.9% in 2023, at 1.9, still Jamaica was among the slowest growing economy.
that's not
In,
true.
And
In
why
what? No,
is
hold on.
Jamaica among
Hold
them?
on, Dane. Hold on. In
it,
what category? In what category?
it was in it
In
was
what in what category?
even before COVID.
No. Answer this question. Jamaica was, according to what you're saying, Jamaica was the slowest growing economy in what category? Are you talking in the North American market, the Canadian market, the European market? What category are you talking?
Marcia, you're not good.
I can say the same thing about you, dear.
Hold
And
on.
I can even say more
We're
because
not gonna
the
go
World
there.
Bank, and please don't get personal.
Guys, listen.
Please don't get
I
personal.
agree.
We're discussing. Hold on. Please don't get personal. We're discussing. So don't get
Don't get
personal with
personal.
me.
But listen, Dean, you have to answer the question in straightforward.
I
And
did.
You
while
don't
we
say.
have alone to answer straightforward, we have to give him a chance to answer.
So
Thank you.
he said something about Jamaica was the slowest growing economy. And that's why I asked him what
Jamaica was not
category.
the first growing economy, Dean.
Because
That is not true.
Marcia,
Because,
so
just let me explain. Because the World Bank came out and said Jamaica was the fastest growing economy in the Caribbean. In the Caribbean, one of the fastest growing economy. If it's not the fastest, was
I
one of
lie,
the
lie,
fastest.
Matel Marcia.
So
Lie,
please
Matel,
tell
when
me
you
what
say that.
category.
okay, forget about the World Bank. They
No,
don't.
don't say that. Don't say that because you bring it up. Come on. You
They,
not
And
good then.
it's in World Bank
You brought
as
it
well.
up.
Remember, he used World Bank to state that the 2021 2022
Exactly.
projections were slow.
So
So
now
do
we know
not
why use it
disregard the World
again.
Bank. No,
Yeah.
know
Please.
that it is against what you're
Typical
saying.
PMP.
You come in
Typical
here with all of
PMP.
these
They
figures. You
use
come
it
in here
when it benefit them.
with
But
all
and
of
in
these figures
disregard
and
when it
don't
not
know how to
benefit
back
them.
up what you're saying. If you're gonna talk about Jamaica is the slowest growing economy, then talk in which category of the market you're talking. Because
Marcia,
you cannot put Jamaica with USA. And as a
Marcia,
matter of fact, the Times even said Jamaica was even better. They must come to Jamaica and ask Jamaica how they're growing the economy here.
how much did the Prime Minister spend on each person in
Doesn't
2020
matter. Doesn't matter. The economy is growing.
Why you allude to that
It does not
foolishness, brother?
matter.
to grow by 1.9%? It was supposed to. Why? Okay,
much
Did
So,
you?
did
so hold
that
on,
grow?
hold
But we
on,
still
hold
a
on.
How
target.
much
Dean,
did
so
it,
what you say?
how much did
Dean,
it
what you say?
grow in
Hold on.
18 years between
No,
1989 and
Ah,
what
2007?
that's
what
the
Dean has tried to
question.
say? Let me say me get you right, Dean.
Trying to say that this was due to a
Hold on the Dean. Hold on the Dean. Let me say me get you right.
there was a
What you're saying is this.
business environment and
If
crime.
there's a hold on the Dean. If there's a downturn in the economy, it's the government fault. But when it grew, it's supposed to grow.
Wait,
That's what you're saying to me.
that's it. You're just telling me something. You're just
No,
telling.
that's what you said. You said the 1.8
You,
we're going on that is supposed to grow.
but
So
Chuck, you're
the
not.
government have nothing to do with the growth, but we have something to do with when it decline.
Mr. Finley, you're
Right.
missing the point. You're missing the point. That's what you're doing. I'm saying
Typical PAP.
issues.
They use it when it benefits them and they disregard it when it don't benefit when we don't benefit them. That's how they
So we
them
can
go.
give them too much time. Let us move on to the conversation that we were having.
Double
He
standard
can,
people them. They are
he can
very double
continue.
standard.
The Prime
He
Minister
can
came
Very
continue.
double standard.
with correct.
October.
He came with and said crime was a problem.
I tell you about them distraction, you know.
Yeah, we can let us move on to what we were
Listen,
talking about.
listen, guys. Me go on J, me go pa funny man J live this morning. You know, cause me here while
You
ago,
know what
me a
about that
pass and me
neither.
here while little woman a talk about how the Prime Minister yam head because in gone in a helicopter gonna fly over and
You
he
mean,
never
hold
load up
on.
one truck and carry
You mean
people,
caution
carry
boyfriend?
food and
You go
aye,
bank
same
caution
one.
boyfriend life?
Yeah, you know, so me never go on the live truck this morning, but through me a pass and me go hear this woman attack so bad about the Prime Minister, me have to jaw break. So
No,
me
but
jaw break
sir,
and me say no, me have to get
Alright,
in panic and
let me pose now.
want to say
Let me
something.
pose another question to Dean now.
Yeah,
Dean,
I'm here. I'm listening.
in terms of crime, what your opinion on the crime situation now?
Crime.
Yeah.
Who? You want us to start with the rule of law, or you want us to go directly into crime?
the man is asking your
Just answer
question.
the question, man. You always a beat around the bush, and one of the days them that you're not
Yeah.
gonna get away with it.
Hold on.
Answer the questions
You,
and be
you know what I
direct.
noticed? You know what I
That
noticed
rabbit
with Dane?
come,
You know who
that
Dane
rabbit
remind
come.
me of? You know
Yes.
who Dane remind me of? Ralston Hyman. Come
But
up with all of these. Come up with all of these fancy figure.
I know if you back it up.
Okay, Ralston Hyman. This is the Ralston Hyman
Marcia,
right here, twin.
I'm
See
dropping.
you say go
Marcia,
Marcia. That's
Marcia.
exactly who it
Hi.
is.
What crime?
And remember say no. Remember say
James,
he
what
come
you
here.
mute J Brian boyfriend for, man? You
He
shouldn't
come
mute
here.
J Brian
No, let
boyfriend.
me unmute Dre's
Yeah,
Hey,
boyfriend.
you
Man,
see, you see, all we
mute
are
Come
J
talk,
here.
boyfriend.
all we are talking about now is day, you know. Me, I tell you about them
Yeah.
distraction in the road, boy.
Well,
All
and the
right.
man, he come
No,
here.
no.
He
I
come
want
here
to
and he
answer the
talk
crime
about it.
question now. Tell me about crime.
No,
I'm
well, and Chuck, let me say
point
this,
out what
Chuck.
the
He
Crime
people.
is
come
very
here and he
complex,
talk
though.
about say with GDP is at where it's at, right? And him not come and him say to the people them say, why? We need to start work more. We need to get more people working. We need to get more people skilled. We need to start producing more. We need to start open more businesses. Him not come here, come say that, him come here, come and blame the government.
Wait, wait,
Tell
wait.
your fellow,
Okay,
And to
okay.
support
tell
your
your,
point, to
For that.
support your
tell your,
point, to
tell your
support your
fellow.
point, this government just gone through a pandemic, right? Now we're in almost a war. You're not looking at what is happening in the world that is affecting also part of this
Thank you.
country, which is
Thank
affecting
you. I
everybody.
can't see how they seems to forget that we
Mar-
had
Hold
a
on, there's
Marcia,
a
pandemic.
question
Sam,
in the
just
in
You
give me
the
a
don't know
minute
that.
there.
Caution,
hold
bring
on.
that
I'm
out
going to
there.
allow Robbie to say something, but first there's a question in the comment for Dane. It says, Dane, what is the PNP coming to do for Jamaica? Me would love to vote for them, so tell me. So Dane, that's for you.
Okay, sorry. Can you repeat? I'm trying to look in the. I'm trying to
Oh, the
look.
person is
What you think
saying that
Mark
they
Golding
want you
can
to
do for Jamaica better?
tell
This
them what the
Jamaica.
PNP coming to do for Jamaica. So tell them because they would want to vote for them, but they want to know what they are coming with.
Okay,
Give him a free ad.
since we're on the topic of, I think, monetary and financial stability.
You mean like a FinSac part two?
No,
Everybody,
sir.
It's a,
everybody,
Tell if you're not one, you want a good one.
everybody has stand up comedy.
No, no.
Listen
We
now.
see where you
Battles.
stand. We
them because
definitely see how you jump up to
Philippian.
answer the question. And
Philippian.
the PNP has never been
In a nutshell.
fiscally responsible.
Okay, in
Because what go downtown and see all of them building they will lock up a part of the 44,000 businesses that were closed down in the 90s under Finsta.
Which Mark Gordon was an advisor at the time, just in case they never know.
Did
well,
you
well,
know?
I don't
Did
know
you know
what
that?
okay, let's adjust something. Let's adjust something that happened. Okay? The exchange rate experienced four different.
Robbie, talk what you want, talk.
Well, yeah, cause guess what? No. Gentle people, I won't belong. You don't know, say one little hurricane blew the other day. Me not have no current, so me have to get charged and stuff. So me can't stay long on the live. But this a pass through on me ear. The thing, you know, and Dane is always on live, and each time that Dane comes on a live, he always come with a lot of things which he cannot back up with facts. Now, one other thing I want to say, you see, Marcia, it is not war. It's not just one war. It is wars are taking place. Remember, one of the things a lot of people doesn't take into consideration, the two of the countries that are in war at this present moment are the biggest producers of wheat. They export wheat right across the country. And there's also a war now. So, and the other thing about it, the way they used to travel to do exportation of those things, they have to take a longer route. That means it's going to cost more to do all of that. So things are going to be more expensive. A lot of people are not talking about the things that are happening in the country, and there's a lot of things that are happening now. I remember back in the pandemic, a ton of steel was $170,000 to $180,000 per ton.
Let's talk rate instead of a ton of steel.
Well, no, man, that's my finish, man.
Hold on. So in 2022, the exchange.
Brother, let me finish. I won't be long because I have.
Hold on and allow him to finish. Trust me.
And now a ton of steel is $135,000. You know how much come off of that? I used to pay $8,000 for a sheet of apply because I'm in the construction industry. Now I pay $4,500. And there are a lot of improvements, a lot of things prices has gone down, which I don't hear people talk about. But people talk about a lot of stuff that are when things are going up, everybody speaks about it, but nobody speaks about when the price has gone down. And I know this has to do with the fact that there's a lot more things that are taking place and people are working more. The government will earn more. And for a lot of things to be improved in this country, a lot of people, as Philippian says, these young people need to get themselves skilled and get themselves being employed. Because once people are working, the government will be able to take in more money, not more taxes, but more money in taxes, and then the government will be able to do a lot more for the country. Now, me just chop and go as I say because I'm on my phone. The amount of percentage they have in charge.
The government's revenue for May has increased.
I know, Philippian. Yes. So I'm gonna try if it go there to make them. I'm gonna chop and go through. Come just lick the facts. Them come. You know, I have more percentage on my phone.
Statistics. All I hear he has increased. Robbie, the increase. Come on, give us some stats. You say increase. How much? So Robbie.
And let me tell you this. I'm gonna come off.
Some real numbers. Robbie, please throw in some real numbers. Okay? Okay.
No, I'm tell you, I don't have time for that because I don't have a much percentage on my phone. And I listen, I tell you, say, I don't have no electricity from the hurricane, and I listen that.
Finish up, Robbie.
You know,
me have the speaking spoken time with you, brother.
Sir, you have a real problem,
Look what the government has done. You know much time when hurricane come, what would I have to look for aid and borrow money from country for help the people them in the country. No, we don't have to.
Thank you, Info. Thank you for that, because they want to put that in.
We don't have to borrow any money. We
So
don't
what
have to
about
borrow
fix you
no
up
money
in
for
a
help fix back the
insurance in the
economy.
same
We have the
reason?
money. Even Nigel addressed to show you there are so many. We have up to $140 billion that we could take from the IMF if we need to, and we don't need to even go there. We have 4.5 billion US dollar to deal with that. We have insurance to cover all of that.
I have.
Which government in Jamaica has ever done that? Every time there's a disaster, this country, we have to be running up and down all over the place to try to find money to help the citizens of this country. No, we don't even have to do that.
Nah, hurt
And
we
it's
head.
because of the fiscal prudence and the fact that the government has thought about what can happen in the
Commander
future.
Robbie, during the month of May, the government, during the month, the government collected 4.77 billion dollar more than the 143.09 billion it budgeted for this which
In that
month?
quarter.
For May. This represented an increase of approximately 10.2% relative to the 129.79 billion recorded for the corresponding period in 2023. So the government made 10% more in revenue this month.
Where the gone?
You have to run,
Jump
man.
off. You have to
We
run.
have to run, and Lashika can tell us on his steer because anytime you see compound one live and
No,
the
in
camera,
the year or what still?
He can
you
bring him
know,
up back. Bring him up back, man. Me know where
bring him
one
up
gone.
back. Because me tell us something. No, no time in Jamaica's history that we have ever had a national disaster where we could stand on our own and deal with it.
Oh,
No,
no,
we.
no, the first one I see the end.
So
No,
then the
Lashika.
government made
I mean, I talk you, Robbie.
$4.77
Robbie,
billion
me not talk you,
more
but at
than
first, Chuck in a door, in a door, the end.
Know
$144
me first.
billion
Dave,
it budgeted for.
You know me
Dave,
fif-
Eh?
Dave. Me never expect you for road this. Where your road go?
No. I had to take a call. I'm back now. Now I'm back in
All
full.
right.
I'm back in full effect.
You understand me? So this
I saw
government has
ENC.
done so much for this country, and if the people of this country will take up all the everything that the government is offering to them to help to make the country a better place, Jamaica will and is going to be a better place. And one last thing on crime, let me tell you this now. From the hurricane come, when was it? Wednesday? I have no electricity, and every single night, not one of my door or window has been closed. Not one single one.
So, well, on, Robbie, where you say? You sleep with the window and door open?
Hey,
Long
What?
time.
Robbie, where you say, Robbie? You sleep
Robbie,
with the window and door open?
one tree dropping on my house, saying,
Where do you
and
go?
me I tell her, and we get up the next morning and we get power salmon and we clean up the whole lane that I live on. And from that day, from a Wednesday, my windows and doors are not being closed, and not just mine alone. I mean, I no grill for my house, so let it be
All
known.
right. All right.
let me state
I
these
tell you,
facts. Let
Thank
me
you,
let
Robbie.
state
me
these
let the people them
facts.
come check you, Robbie.
Let me
Thank
state
you,
these
Robbie.
facts. We have
Thank you, Robbie.
$500 million in the National Disaster Fund. $500 million. In the contingency fund, we have $4 billion. And there's
Nah, beg
another
no money.
fund. Remember, these funds are for natural disasters. Money that the government put
This
aside.
one PNP,
Different
one
from
PNP
what
blogger.
is in the NRI, right?
This one PNP blogger, so we have category 6
I
hurricane.
don't
We
say no don't
cried.
PNP them don't. They not no sense.
Category
But
6.
So this is what I see.
Ian,
But
This,
no hurricane
what you
never reached
respond to all
6
the
yet.
Robbie just said?
this is what I see Nigel Clark doing. Okay, which
Hold on. There is also the IADBCC fund, which has $46 billion.
And they have the CCBJ, what's it like that? I remember the exactly
Yeah,
term.
me soon tell you what it is called.
Yeah, because I listened
I
and I
think
see.
the
The minister
ICC
named them
one
out
is the
this
Caribbean.
morning.
A
It's the
couple of
one
them
that
well.
we have with the Caribbean.
Yes.
I think there's that
And
one.
the PNP don't know how to do these things. I mean,
Hold
they
on.
call it as it is. They don't have no
Ask
clue
him the
what is going on.
question.
Missy Margolin
Right?
gone up a mustard seed.
The politics.
Oh,
Go
there is
on.
this. There's the CCRIS policies.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay, let's get
Yes.
into this one. Let's get into
So
this.
the bottom line and the money we not have. We have the money. I just natural disaster and it just take time to
But
get back
Sam,
on
what the
straight.
Prime
That's
Minister
all.
said, Sam, the Prime Minister said, listen, even though this is a natural disaster, no man now get no money go spend it and put money in their
Thank
pocket. And
you.
people they
Me
want to get the
watching
money, don't
video.
get it. It
Right.
must
Me
be done.
watching
It
video.
must be done the right way, and it must be
Right
physical.
way.
When they deal with the money, people must can give account for the money. Him
I've been
say,
Thank you.
crying
yes,
for
it's a
it.
natural disaster, but in now fling money, yes, one fling money there. So, and
Right.
then the same people them contact say the government corrupt and this
Thank
and
you.
that.
Thank you.
Cause the
Proper
corruption
procedure
where them
the
a
man I
run with,
deal
you
with.
know, just people that call the word corruption and them can't identify no corruption.
They don't even know what corruption
Transparency
means.
I was
International
reading
rate
I
the
was reading a report this
administration
morning.
as less corrupt. You can't argue with Transparency
I
International.
was reading the Contractor General's report this morning for 2013,
Awesome name.
and the government at the time, which was the PNP, contracted a company to print science textbooks for high. I don't remember if it says high school, but I think it says science textbooks. And the company that they printed it that printed it don't even have a GCT
I
ID.
remember that thing, Lashika.
Don't don't even have a GCT number. So that show you when they submitted the invoice, there is no GCT, and
They weren't
there was no
registered.
procurement. They were not registered. There is no procurement process to get that company to print those books.
Dean, what you
They
mean I no reason to go up on the Dean, come back, man. Where the run gone? What you mean I no reason? Alright, here what you do. We can do
He
one
no, no,
nah
thing.
no,
get
no,
he
no,
nah get fit
no,
talk, man. He nah get fit talk.
no.
So
That
leave my
is not
talk.
his problem. He wants
Leave
to
my
Hey,
talk.
so
continue.
Dean,
No, don't bring
stay,
him back.
brother. It's not have nothing to do with him not getting to talk. This is how he
Yes,
is.
I saw him in show tantrum, I saw
Mine
him
no go by the
stay. And
PNP.
if him
Maybe
now
them
control the narrative,
investigation.
him don't want to be here. Because he didn't
Right.
tell we
Him
what we need
always
to
the
talk
one, the
about.
one that talk.
No,
Him alone must be heard.
Dean, hold on, hold
Alright.
on, hold on, hold
Me
on.
say me tell them two clot over J this morning the boy. They show me off, but me get to tell them the clot where they on my mind, cause they over there talk bad about the Prime Minister talk. So look here, man. Hey.
every time you come with the same line. Oh my God. Stop killing me, man.
Alright, Dean, Dean,
I me
Dean,
no me never know
hold
it's
on.
you did there. Are you that?
Dean, make you,
Come
Dean,
back.
make you, hear me I said, Dean. Me ask you a question earlier.
Go ahead, sir.
I realized, hold on, I realized that you recognize that the finance ministry is doing a wonderful job, but you just don't want to say it.
Hey, I
That's a
never
big
used the word
problem.
wonderful. I never used the word wonderful.
No, let me repeat.
I
I
never
say
did.
you realize that they're doing a wonderful job, but you don't want to say it.
Okay, wait, hold on. Let me say this.
Don't want
If
at
you
me.
not see the reason why you need to be on the panel anymore, Dean, why you stay?
No,
Why
let me
you
say
stay?
this. No,
Because the Batman, no, you can't know anymore.
Wait, me hear for him term him use. Cause really wonderful, wonderful at the term, you know. But let me hear
Okay,
for your
all right.
term.
Come explain yourself.
I use the word good. That's what I use.
Good.
Yeah.
And knowing your antecedent, if you say good, you're going to drop it at least 2 PS behind.
No,
So
no,
you
no.
really mean wonderful, you just don't want to say it.
But then
But
again,
but but but
yeah.
but Chuck, me have a follow-up question to that, Chuck. Then
No,
if you can identify that they are doing good, then what is the problem?
oh
Aren't
my
we want good?
Sam,
Doesn't everybody looking for good?
what needs to be done? I'll tell you what needs to be done. Okay?
Uh-huh.
There has to be a policy, right? Which should be
Well, I know, there. Me not cut it, but just ever talk about policy, name the
rabbit.
type of policy. Hey,
But
name the type of policy
Make
that
you
me
name
don't
in
want to hear
policy
about no
info, man.
policy. Tell me what are the policies are.
Trying
Give
to-
me some
yeah.
information as to what the policy will entail, so you know so if you go. Me don't want to hear about no use some policy. If you not tell me about
Hey.
policy, you still not answer the question.
Okay.
Cause anybody can come and say them are going to do good, you know, but that no mean say them are going to do good, you know. For them good can be bad, you know. So you have to outline Your
Marcy
policy.
expecting Sammy's here to repeat what he says over and over again.
Yeah, because I ensure that you get it right.
Marcy and Robbie. Okay, let me say this. The government can do better when it comes to the policy, but they don't want to do that. So, recommendation what they should do. Okay? It should end up spewing this and spewing that. Right? There has to be support between Financial Services Commission, right? The Deposit Insurance Corporation, right? Which in turn should work with these three statutory committee in the House: the Financial System Stability Committee, the Financial Regulatory Committee, and the newly appointed Financial Policy Committee, which became effective on February the 16th, 2021. So that's good. Do you understand why I say good now? Anybody who was talking about that? Do you understand why I say good? Do you understand?
Then
Hold
just
on.
man, just start, man. We are hear you.
Okay. So with that said, what we will see is that the IMF and their public debt policies will not have any say when it comes to the GDP. They won't have much so. But you know why Nigel is putting that for the back burner? Because he wants to use it in party politics for PNP votes. Cool, makes sense. Okay? But don't forget, you
The
can't,
what? What you
no,
say? Me not hear what you say, Nigel, though.
no. Answer, listen, and when you listen,
Listen, you're a Jamaican man. Talk like Jamaican. I
Yeah,
pay
please, a
Jamaica. I
while
pay
ago, we
foreigner, you
can't
No,
know.
he
afford it.
cannot, guys. Just allow him to speak. No, he cannot. Just allow him to
The
speak.
foreign talk I mess him up, man. Talk
No,
like
no, that's how
Jamaican.
he speaks. That's how he
2021
speaks.
All right
Just
then.
let him
Why?
talk. That's how he talk. He can't talk better than that.
increased by
His tongue heavy.
$800 million. And the government consumption and expenditure decreased by I think it's 8% or something like that. So you tell us what's going on with the most recent IMF data. Anybody have it? Bring it up. 2020, 2021, 20, or 2023. Somebody bring it up.
What aspect of it are you referring to?
I mean, total debt service went down 1.6 billion. Remember, Jamaica used to produce almost $2
Yes.
billion, right? In 2020, it was 1.6. In 2021, it was 1.36. What happened? Did it drop so much?
Remember, you have a pandemic, guy.
No.
Wait.
We already
Ask the question one more time. Ask the question again.
okay. So who said because you have a pandemic, guy? Who said
No. Ask the question
Ask
one
the
more time for me.
question.
who I have to address first before I ask the question?
No.
I said it. I said it.
No, Marcia, no pay him no mind. And that him one for this track way.
No,
That's how he
yeah.
speak.
Ask that question one more time. You just asked about the debt again.
Nothing, brother.
What's the question, Dean?
Say nothing. Every time I try to knock down a point, I never get it knocked down. Cause
No, but we are asked to repeat the question so we can answer.
can I score a goal?
Pardon?
Do you want the question answered? I'm asking you to ask it again.
Now he start showing tantrum.
Trying to get, but guess what? I'm not gonna get there. People keep on going after
Dave,
the emotional.
listen to me. Listen to me. You're on a delay, and that will mess you up. You're using a service, and it is delaying you. So nobody's interrupting you, but you're on a delay. So Rough One is saying, ask the question over again, please.
Nobody wants to hear that answer. It doesn't matter. I'm trying to give the answer. Right?
I think you just realized the stupidity of the question you just asked. That's why you
Thank you.
don't want to see
Which is why I don't want to repeat it. Thank you, Rough
it.
One.
Okay.
Which is why I don't want to repeat it.
But I know you're on a platform. But can I say something real fast, guys, and then I'm gonna let you all go back to this. First of all, I'm happy. I'm excited to see you all back online. I am happy. People are
Yeah,
okay.
man.
I'm excited about it. I was able to be aware of everything happening in Jamaica because we had a leader or leaders in Jamaica who kept people informed. Like literally, I was able to see the Prime Minister and Valls and what's the other guy's name? Local government.
Oh,
Desmond
that's not.
McKenzie. I saw those guys like I got daily briefing from them. I'm at work and this was on the local channels here in Atlanta. I'm at work and people who have never been to Jamaica came over to my office and said, man, I hope everything is in Jamaica. It doesn't look right. But, you know, the leadership on the ground did a fantastic job. I did not see the leader of the opposition until afterwards. I imagine he might have been voting in London. I don't know.
That's what I think that too.
But that's but
Rough one.
Oh, me not lie, me
Rough
even
one.
see the PNP mayor, Kingston mayor, but me never see Mark.
Rough
Where
well
Mark
one.
is there?
Mark. Rough one. Mark went home to vote.
he had to vote.
Yes.
Otherwise he had to do the right thing.
I just saw a news, guys, that Canada is the third highest house indebted household in the world. Switzerland and Australia are number one and two.
Yeah. But did you all hear the question he just asked just now though?
I didn't hear. I know he said something about why our debt
GDP
is going
drop.
down. Yeah, I think I heard him, but I didn't hear
That's
the
the
Why?
question,
year.
as I
Why?
understand it, and I want to make sure that's what he said.
And
Why
that's
is our
why.
debt repayment lower now than it was
Our
before?
debt servicing ratio, something like that. He was
No,
saying.
no. He said that, our debt servicing ratio has gone down now, but he went back to 2021, 2022, and he
Right.
That's
asked
when
why.
I heard when you say the pan that 2021,
Correct.
2020, but I never hear the question.
Yes.
And that's why you said the pandemic, but he keep referring to the 2021, 2022 when we are just in recovery mode.
And
Exactly.
I'm not sure he
Everything that
used the
he
word
brought up
ratio.
since he got
I'm not
here,
sure he used the word ratio. I'm thinking he's talking about we're paying back less now than we paid before, which makes sense because our debt is lower now.
me
You know,
not, me
like
not.
I said, he reminds me so much of Ralston Hyman. They come out with all of these figures and try to trap people because they have all of these figures right down and they give you from A to B to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. But in terms of explaining everything, he's not prepared to listen.
And that's what he was doing. He was throwing out fancy stuff, and then when you call into it, he realized, wait a second, somebody might have called on here. Let me
Exactly.
go.
Yeah.
But on that same call that somebody was talking
That's
about this
how he
morning,
is, though. You must say him not answer him not ask the question. That's how
yeah,
he is. It
on
comes to a
that same
point
live,
anytime you rebut him, he gets frustrated and then he just like he throw a tantrum and he come off of the live. Me know him too well.
Because
All
when
of
you're
what
gonna
he come with, I saw him spear.
We're
but
not
the
going to
same
talk
platform
about
that they were
Jamaican
talking about this
economy
morning.
is the slowest. You cannot put Jamaica economy with the US economy, the European economy. You have to put it in the Caribbean because that's where you compare Jamaica's economy
But
too.
here's
But
what I'm telling you guys.
Marcia, we
I
are
hear
rated highly amongst the big three.
Exactly. Exactly. The New
what I
York
tell you guys.
Times came out and said that the US should come to Jamaica and see what they're doing.
Here's what I'll tell you guys on this platform is that I know the Prime Minister said we have to fight them back with facts. But I'm telling you, they have decided that they're gonna dog whistle. When I went on that live this morning, that PMP live this morning, they were literally over there and they were all agreeing and saying it that the Prime Minister was missing in action and the Mark Golding was out there. They were all literally framing it to say that. And then every one of them saying it, no, it's a lie. They know Mark Golding was missing. They say, watch how the Prime Minister is going to come out now and follow Mark Golding and go
They're
on check.
delusional. And the thing is, the evidence is right there on the PM's page on
But they just have to put
Instagram.
it out. They just want to put it out.
And as Lashika said, I don't know about in Britain, but I know that in Australia, if you don't vote as a citizen of the country, you can be in prison for it. I don't know if it's the same law in Britain, but chances are that's where he went because nobody heard anything from him until now. Everybody was asking where can he, well, one of his followers said that, oh, he said it on one of his meeting that he had, some town hall meeting or whatever. And he said, well, that is only a small minute of people you're talking to. Why can't you put it on your website or come out and, oh, well, it's only one prime minister the country have. So why should he come out? And he's like, that's bullcrap. That is bullcrap.
But Why am I jump the gun and send congratulations to the new English Prime Minister if I just one Prime Minister in the country have?
Oh, there you
How
go.
long I call you godson?
No, but in England, the day of the election, they don't have an inauguration like we do. That day after the election,
No, the day after election, you have to leave down in street.
yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
Yeah, them leave quick.
yeah.
Yeah.
Then
But but he
anyway,
I
knows.
think them deal with that guy there rough though. He was doing a good job under trying circumstances, but
who
I
that?
go,
No,
you know.
Who
no,
that?
Rishi,
no.
Me didn't like the guy. Really, me I tell you
Mm-mm,
my opinion. Listen,
mm-mm.
me.
Rishi
Listen.
He
Suna.
was
You can't have the
racist.
country
Mm-mm,
under austerity
It,
for
it,
10 years. For 10 years.
oh well, that aspect of it, but then you have to
mm-mm.
get strict on certain things to get it right.
And
You
he
know,
was
No,
racist.
it was worse. It was the
Remember say no.
worst.
he
Remember say
was
in
getting
first speech,
better.
Remember saying first speech, was about cutting immigration, and his mother is an immigrant.
Okay.
no, me never hear
Remember
that
that,
part. Well, then I apologize. I
Oh,
retract my
trust
China
me,
statement.
you
man.
don't know who that guy is.
Yeah
He
man,
might
in his first
Me never
speech,
hear that part. There, as me say,
I
me
was
retract
like
my
remember
this
the
statement.
at this.
Which
the
one and not
Homeland
talk?
Secretary,
Tuna.
Which one and not talk?
British Prime Minister, Richie
Rishi,
Sunak.
okay.
Yeah, remember his Homeland Secretary. They had Suleiman. They had to run her out because of her
Okay.
anti-immigrants rhetorics.
Stance. Yeah. Okay. Okay.
Yeah, trust me, it was
Yeah.
bad
Yeah.
over
Yeah.
But
there.
guys,
Okay.
one of my takeaway from this election, I mean, I think most people are paying mind. You see the
The richest
party,
man.
we get basically third, the one run by the guy we named Nigel
The
Farage.
Green Party?
Part,
No,
yeah,
no,
Nigel, yeah, the new Reform
Nigel
Party.
Party, the UK Reform Party, yes.
Yeah,
Isn't that the
That
Green
party,
Party?
no,
no man, the
no,
UK
no,
Reform, they
Oh,
name the
okay.
Reform Party, Reform UK. I think they probably win both I think they win both
13. I
seats.
think they got around 13 seats.
Around 13, yeah. They win
Yeah.
about 13 seats also.
Yeah.
But that is a party who couple years ago couldn't win a seat.
Right.
Mm-hmm. There you go.
Them couldn't
Yep.
win a seat.
To see how bad it
Nigel
was.
is a man where people used to walk and dash milkshake on him every wish bar thing go. When him a
Mm.
campaign, people throw every liquor upon him, but then rate him.
And
He
pie,
was able
pie
to
and
win him
skin.
seat and in party win, as think they say about 13 seat him win.
Yeah.
So if and that man is dangerous. That man is the Donald Trump version of England.
Yes, the
Actually,
Donald Trump of England.
he was the
Yes,
one. He was the one
Yeah.
that promotes the Brexit.
yes.
He was the one
Okay.
that promote the
Yeah. Yeah.
Brexit.
Yeah. Great. But as the guys mentioned Donald Trump, you guys watch the debate over here the other night. That man
Lord
lied
God,
through
me
the
tired
whole
of
thing.
Donald. Him
Well, I
just
know
did a
him lied
spew
through the
pure
whole thing.
lies.
And nobody no focus on that is at the gap with Biden. The man 80 they might have him
Exactly.
moments. Let
Listen,
us
although
face it.
I'm not for the Democratic Party. I am
Mm.
for the Republican Party, but I don't like Trump. I
Come
don't
on.
Let me tell
like a bone in
let me say
Trump.
this. Let me say this. When we voted for Biden when he was 76 years old or
Mm-hmm.
77, God damn it, we didn't know that at the end of the term he'd be 81.
Mm-hmm.
Well, let me tell you
Yeah.
something. I am voting for the guy with morals that has a good strong team around him. The problem, let me tell you, the problem is not so much Biden. What even the Democrats that are hitting out against Biden, that's not the problem. They don't want to see a black female president. That's their
Yeah.
problem.
I think
Yes.
so too.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
That's
another
their
thing
problem.
that I
No,
would
And
like
that's why
Rafan,
they have to hide her,
Rafan,
Them can't even push her out there like other vice
Rafan,
presidents.
Rafan, let me tone it down a little for you. It's not just a
to
black
a
female.
woman.
They don't want a female president. And you know how I know that?
Yep.
Years ago, when Hillary and Obama was in the runoff,
Yep.
there was a white guy who was in Jamaica. He was doing some work at the place I used to work. And we were talking, and him say, this was from the primary, and he was the one who said, he said Obama is going to win. And I said, how is you sure? Him say, because America will have a black president before a woman president.
But I can give you better than that.
But
Go back
remember,
and
this
Google.
one,
Go back to
remember
Google.
they do the Vox Pop poll, the Vox Pop poll, and it clearly showed that they don't want no woman to run America,
But
and it
listen to
was
this. Check
mainly
this out.
women. It was mainly women who were against woman in the White House as a president.
But listen to this, and this is a fact. You can Google it and find it. Richard Nixon was asked the question, will America ever have a female president?
Richard said, here is how it will happen. A white male will choose a female as his running mate. The white male will die in office, and the female will become president. Richard
So you
Nixon
now
said
vote
that.
for one directly.
I wonder for
Mhm.
this one.
I agree with you. I agree with you, rough one. I've heard that before.
But
Yeah.
guys, what do you think are gonna happen now with Trump and Donald Trump now? Trump
But
and
I
In
Biden.
my
want
opinion,
I want
yeah.
people to think about sorry Riga, sorry, let me
Yeah,
just
do your
say
thing.
this.
Do your thing. Do your thing. Yeah.
I want to say to people all the time who sit at them yard and say, me no vote, me no in not with voting. Look at what Donald Trump and his party is proposing with the Project 2025. It is
What is
Exactly.
very
that
much
project?
so real.
You don't hear about Project 2025?
No, tell me about it. Because I
Project,
haven't been paying
It
much
is
attention to US
Project
politics.
so real.
2025 is a method of cleaning out all the civil servants and putting political activists in those
Yep.
jobs.
And remember, they're getting rid of the educational department, the food safety
Hold
department,
on. But then
the
minute yes, I'm
climate
gonna send
change,
back. But
the
me yes,
climate
I'm gonna
change
send back
department.
teachers come at Jamaica because them cut teachers budget already.
Right? So Project 2025, huh? But as we
But
say,
I'm going to do this do from what I see, Biden a politician. Biden you see the gaff when gaff with the other day. By the time I prime him up, send him go the other debate, he might give a better showing. That's just my whole look at the whole thing. There are other debates before we have seen where people tumble down bad and by the second debate then turn up back on him foot. So I'm hopeful that barring any health scare,
I don't think
we'll
there's
show
another
up for the
debate.
next one.
One debate.
I don't think there's another. Actually, I don't
Yeah,
think
man,
there's
you have
another.
one more, man. At
Yeah, man,
two.
them
Supposed to
one.
be
They
two,
agree
but
to
I
one.
think they canceled it.
No, they canceled it. I didn't hear. So I
Yeah,
my apologies.
but it was cancelled before the first one. So it was as
Yeah.
a result of the first one it cancelled.
Afternoon, everybody.
Anthony Minto.
What all the labor rights them doing today?
Well,
Yeah,
okay.
we're good, we're good. We are checking. All your stay. All your people left down for the ground.
Them good man. Everybody down on the ground good, and some of my people them call me so them see the PM come through, and just the joy to see the PM come through. Everybody was happy. But them know say them safe.
And dirty PMP a complain say the PM can't fly in a helicopter gone St. Elizabeth. Then he should have used drone. You say you see that if he did use drone and sit down in an office, they would have said no care.
I know
Oh, this
everything
is
on the
a
ear in the
drone.
Philippines.
Me have to cuss them. Me have to cuss
And
them.
I your customer and everything you have
Me
to.
let out me rat upon them. Because them a
Yeah,
tell
we
lie.
appreciate you did that.
Yeah, and also, guys, there's gonna be a second debate in September 10th. So yeah,
I was just looking at it. I was just looking at
Man,
it.
they cancelled it, man.
no, it was
No,
supposed
man,
to
I was
be
just looking
three.
at it.
It was
Riga.
supposed to be three, and they canceled one. Well, Trump said he only gonna do two. So they have one more coming up in
Who
September,
the hell is Trump?
and
Riga.
also
You know what,
Yes, yes.
sir?
and also
more
this
here.
guy here, this guy here that won the election in Britain, he's an Obama mentee.
Yeah.
But
Yeah,
question
man,
though,
him is a Biden ally too. Yeah, man. Man, Biden will work closely.
the question that I want to ask. He's complaining that yes, the PM fly and a helicopter got to St. Elizabeth, but him come out of the helicopter and walk and meet and greet the people, don't?
You know, funny
Yeah.
thing about it.
hell.
And
Then
the,
can go
hold
to
Hold
on,
on, they
hell.
don't ask you, make him finish talk.
on the
He
night
never
of the
just fly over. He
hold on,
stop
on the
and meet
night
them.
of the storm,
Hold on, Sam.
on Thursday night, Wednesday night when the storm blow, the PM was on the ground, in the rain, in the storm, all over the place. Same way, where was the opposition leader?
We
No, man,
don't know.
opposition leader fear weather friend, man. See a sunshine, him a come complain, say the water mash up this, that,
Oh,
what have
you
you.
know,
Make
see the
him go, man.
England.
All right, guys.
All right.
As we
Me
say,
I go come down when I give Godson me box him. Oh, he's here? Godson is here? Yeah, Godson there, man. So give
Yeah, me
Godson
did
my
want
guys,
box.
to
listen to me.
say. Riga, me
As we
did
All right.
say,
want to say. Chuck, me can
Yeah,
just say this real quick, please, if you don't
man.
mind.
yeah.
Me did want to tell you say you say Biden is a politician, and I wanted to make the comparison between him and Andrew. Remember, say them the people that in a politics all of them life, so they know the ins and outs. Like Trump, like Mark Golding, they are just businessmen who just know how to close business deal, and that is one of the things. That's why they were saying like Trump was kind of good for America, but at the end of the day, Trump was turning America into like a little war zone.
All right, a Trump organization. If me did near where they shake and me shake your foot. I
Yeah,
me tell people, me say
yeah,
Biden a politician, him not gonna know what it takes to win.
yeah,
So he's
and
all right.
just like as the prime minister kept reiterating, is that I am not doing this for my resume. This is what
Mm,
I have been doing all my life. This is my
yeah,
career. This is not no second career thing for me.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
So they are politicians. They know what to do. They have
They
been
know
in
what to
it.
do. All right,
Yeah.
boss. Big up on
Right.
yourself, me just in the
That's up
comments box
yourself,
and
Chino.
listen. Give
All right.
Godson
Yeah,
my box, all right?
Godson.
Yeah.
But guys, listen to me. And Sam, it's not every time you see so we hear foolishness and we know foolishness. Right? So when you hear them a certain things, Sam, you don't have to repeat it, make 80 and somebody hear it when they never hear it before. Right? We know stupidness
Yeah,
when we
that
hear
is
it.
true. Yeah.
So when you repeat it, that's now you make 80 that somebody hear it when they never hear it before.
That's what
Right?
I was thinking
And
from.
listen to me. And we
Yeah.
must understand that we're in a situation whereby anything the prime minister do, they're not gonna complain. Say him should have do the opposite. If he did drive one car go down the if in the drive one car, they will not complain say should have fly in a one plane. If he need fly in a one plane, they should have said should have take one space. These are people who will always complain. These are the same people who a couple of months ago they said the prime minister never said nothing about the plane well on the airport. Are the same people that say when the storm come, him talk too much. They, they will always complain. So when we hear them with their stupidness, we don't have to repeat it.
Exactly. And Sam, stop go on them page. Stop go on them live. You and them, you in a
Yeah,
business of an fish
let
pan.
them
Don't go
chat
on
them
them live.
foolishness with them
Yes,
one.
Sam. Stop what contaminate yourself.
No man, I know really, but me tell if you did hear how the woman I described the prime minister and it hurt me, so me have to go panic
The
go first
germs,
the woman.
the little miss,
Look,
right?
yes, little miss.
And
Yeah,
let
Me
me
she
tell
have to
you
you
go
said she
cuss the
can't
old
write.
woman. Me
guys,
say,
let me
if
tell
you hear
you
how the woman
something.
talk, say, I want nobody. So me did have
Sam,
to go panic. Me never
Sam,
go
let me
pan
tell you
Jason
what I
meeting, no, never
realized.
once.
Sam,